Last year, the Highland Park Scots defeated the McKinney North Bulldogs and went on to claim a 4A state championship.
That's Dickinson. He's got the corner. 40, 35, 30, 25. Look out. He could be gone. 10, 5. Kissing goodbye. Highland Park leads this football game. An 11-yard touchdown from Matthew Stafford. 3 defenders were right there. The ball came right to them. Instead of pushing the ball down, they tipped it up, and Highland Park comes down with the touchdown. It's caught by Dickinson. Charlie Dickinson scores. Well, once again, big hole. 5. Touchdown, Highland Park. Jake Felt scores. My goodness, 82 yards on the touchdown.
Exactly 1 year from the date, McKinney North tries to stop Highland Park's 25-game winning streak. It's playoff time in Texas, and it's coming up next.
Herbal, shotgun, handoff, Barrett, bang, touchdown. Douglas caught it at the 5, turns around at the pylon, sacked by Colton Floyd all the way back to the 26-yard line.
McKinney ISD football is on the air.
He's under pressure by Simpson, second at the 5-yard line.
McKinney ISD football is brought to you by American Bank, Troy Aikman Ford, McKinneySports.net.
Throws it down the field and wide open is Blake Moody. Caught at the 25, 15, 10. Kissing goodbye. It is touchdown time in Texas, and listen to this McKinney North crowd.
El Dorado Motors, Bill Joplin's, Pat Loeb Toyota.
Throwing in the end zone for David Douglas, who makes an adjustment, and it's touchdown time in Texas.
The Zone, Greenville, Chrysler.
Firing it down to the end zone. Blake Moody caught it at the 1. It rolls into the end zone. It's touchdown time in Texas. What a game! Woo!
Now, let's start the pregame show. Here's Monty Walker and Brandon Helms.
Same date, same teams, different place, and hopefully a different result. This is the matchup that the McKinney North Bulldogs have been wanting since November 17th of last year, and they want to take revenge from that 59-17 spanking by the Highland Park Scots a year ago. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Tom Kimbrough Stadium. Monty Walker along with Brandon Helms and John Leidy and Jared Foyt. This is probably the game that McKinney North has been looking forward to for the past 2 weeks and caused them to have a couple of hiccups along the way against Frisco and then last week against Little Elm. Highland Park rolls in tonight with a 25-game winning streak. The last time they were defeated was against Texas High in 2004, which coincidentally will be the team that most likely they will play the next round. The winner of this game will play the next round, Brandon.
Yeah, that's exactly right. This is almost a mirror image of last year in terms of playoff pairings. You have McKinney North facing Highland Park, then there's Texas High in the mix too. And right now we already know some of their scouts are in. Obviously, since the winner of this game will, for all intents and purposes, play Texas, unless something miracle happens. Anything can happen, but that's what it looks like.
And they're probably saying the same thing out in Texarkana about this game, that Highland Park will win, unless something crazy happens.
Well, they're the champs.
You have to play the game for a reason.
Yeah, and there's a couple of things that are working in North's favor versus last year. One of being Matt Stafford's in Georgia and not in the stadium.
Nice being 4 states away.
Yeah, and the defense, the Scott defense is not as good as they were last year. I mean, last year was a pretty suffocating defense, and this year there's definitely a lot of bend in their defense. And on the opposite side of that, North's offense and defense are better. So we should see, at least in the scoreboard, a closer one. But I got to tell you, Monty, I'm a little bit worried by the way that North basically is backed into the playoffs on 2 bad games.
A lot of people are worried about that. It's basically a David versus Goliath story here tonight. You've got Highland Park in their 49th playoff appearance. They basically have made the playoffs in 23 of their past 26 years. They have a state record 42 district titles, a state record 49 playoff appearances. They are 68, 45, and 7 overall in the playoffs. And anytime you have a winning record in the playoffs, that's tremendous, and they are 20 games over. 6 most all-time playoff wins, 26 quarterfinal appearances, 14 semifinal appearances, 5 championship game appearances, 3 state title games, or wins, actually, and one of them came last year in the 59-0 win over Marshall in the state championship game, which is unbelievable. And they have all of these Hall of Fame-type people that come out of Highland Park. Doak Walker, the most famous. Bobby Lane, they played at Highland Park. McKinney North, second trip to the playoffs. they have Shannon Woods at Texas Tech, and that's basically it.
Yeah, well,
they have one playoff win under their belt.
You're looking at two exact opposites, one with a storied tradition and one that's been around for a couple of years, essentially.
This ought to be a tremendous matchup, though. If you look at it on paper, McKinney North overall, the team that showed up the first 8 weeks, if they show up tonight, hey, we're going to have a heck of a ball game.
Well, and I don't know, those who have followed us all year have said, hey, I think after the third district game, I started circling this once I saw how the standings were being starting to situate themselves out. The 3 undefeated teams, obviously North is going to be the bigger school. We had this one circled a long time ago, and back then, 3 games into the district schedule, I was rubbing my hands together because this, again, like I said, different McKinney North team, different Highland Park team.
You and a bunch of players from McKinney North, I think, were circling that game because they, as you mentioned, kind of backpedal into the playoffs here with 2 losses. They lost to Frisco 21-17, which everyone kind of thought was a fluke. A bunch of turnovers. McKinney North was the better team that night, I still believe. And then last week, nobody knows what happened against Little Elm. The quarterback, Beasley, just basically ran all over McKinney North. McKinney North made no turnovers. It was just an old-fashioned whipping that McKinney North took from Little Elm.
Yeah, and that's the big key between those 2 games. There were a lot of, Eric Herbal threw a few interceptions against Frisco that were batted in the air. Easy interceptions that Herbal can do nothing about. If they don't get batted, they don't get intercepted, but he's still going to throw that same pass. But against Little Elm, that's where we're all shaking our heads because it's just totally different. It's as if, with Lake Dallas beating Frisco, almost like they didn't want the district championship.
Well, you can hear in the background the bagpipes of the Highland Park Scots, and that's something that they're known for. It's fairly intimidating, especially at Highlander Stadium when you go, because it's so loud with the bagpipes. And I know down there battling those bagpipes are John Leidy. John, talk to us. Tell us about the conditions tonight at Tom Kimbrough Stadium.
Guys, we're at the awesome Tom Kimbrough Stadium here. It's about a 12 to 13,000 seat complex. Tonight's weather's going to be about 50 degrees. End of the game's going to be about 45, so it's not going to drop too much. Highland Park is actually the home team, but they're wearing their road jerseys, their road whites. It's got the blue numerals, the gold or yellow pants, and the solid blue helmet. McKinney North, being the visiting team, they've actually chose to wear their home jerseys here tonight that are the dark blue pants, the white numerals, and the orange helmets.
All right, thanks, John. There's a story within itself with that. There was a lot of battling going on with head coach Sean Pratt and the McKinney, or with Highland Park and McKinney ISD about where to play this game initially, and then Coach Pratt wanted to wear the blue jerseys just as a scenery switch from last year. Last year, Highland Park wore their blues, and McKinney North came out in their white road uniforms. All Coach Pratt wanted to do is change the scenery a little bit so the kids kind of had a different feel. And that was one of the major negotiating things on the table for these 2 schools. I flipped a coin. Coach Pratt won. McKinney North wearing their blue tonight.
Well, and I think that says a lot about the team they're playing, in essence, that forced them to flip a coin. There wasn't a lot of, amicable negotiation between those 2. We'll leave it at that. But let's just say that by luck, North got basically whatever it wanted.
Well, anytime you're a pretty good football team, it takes a lot more negotiating with Highland Park than other times. We're going to take a quick timeout. We'll have the Coaches Show and the Senior Spotlight coming up next on 97.5 KLAK. Welcome to Tom Kimbrough Stadium. Monty Walker along with Brandon Helms and the gang. Highland Park, McKinney North, and the coin toss, McKinney North won. They have deferred. They will be moving and kicking to Highland Park, moving north to south, which will be our left to right. Or actually right to left, isn't it?
Yeah, in the 2 years that I followed McKinney North, there's one thing they like to do, and that's defer after winning coin toss. And I'm going to refer back to last year in Highland Park. They won the toss, and McKinney North ended up receiving. It's small things like that.
Actually,
that can put
McKinney North won the toss.
Oh, did they?
And elected to receive. And here come the McKinney North Bulldogs. Listen to this crowd. Unbelievable.
Looks like your request to get those who follow Boyd in McKinney High out here. There may be something to that. Those stands look pretty full on the opposite side.
It's very full, and I believe it's almost a little silly to think that McKinney North may have more fans on their side than Highland Park over here on the near side. It's very, very close.
Yeah, McKinney's sideline has it top to bottom.
But going back to the kickoff last year, Highland Park, McKinney North won the toss and elected to receive for one of the few times all year, if not the only time all year, and it came back to bite them. Here's the national anthem. It is playoff time in Texas. Highland Park and McKinney North. A game that McKinney North has been waiting for from the exact date of last year when these two teams faced in the second round at Texas Stadium. It's not at Texas Stadium tonight. Too many teams have already filled that one up, with 5A taking 4 teams out of each district. We are here at Tom Kimbrough Stadium on the outskirts of Plano in Murphy, Texas. And Brandon, ought to be a great game.
It should be, and this game almost has a feel. I'm going to be cheesy in this one. You used Darth Vader's theme to open the pregame show. This is almost like Star Wars. You got, last year it was apparent who the master was and who the apprentice was, and then in Star Wars, kind of reversed. Darth Vader, proclaimed that he was now the master. I'm not going to say North is the master, but this definitely isn't going to be the domination that we saw last year.
Well, they're lining up for the kickoff. Stephen Meyer will tee this one up. Again, McKinney North moving right to left. They'll be on defense first. The Highland Park offense will have their first chance. We'll give you the starting offense for the Highland Park Scots in just a moment, as McKinney North is just about ready to tee this one up. Stephen Meyer breaks them from the huddle. Will they do the quail onside fake? And they fake it.
Well, they will do the quail. They always do. It's just a matter of will they onside.
It's just a matter of when. And wouldn't that be something to start this game with something like that? Here's Stephen Meyer, and this playoff trip is underway. It's going to be taken at the goal line by Highland Park, up the left hash, up to the 10, up to the 15, a big seam, 15, up to the 30, 35, and knocked down right at the 35-yard line by the kicker, Stephen Meyer.
Well, that should not have happened. It was fielded at about the 2-yard line, and he went backwards 3 yards into the end zone. And anytime you take a kickoff the other way to get your momentum going, you should be able to peg him down at the 10. The coverage team was there, but somehow they didn't fill all the holes.
For the Highland Park Scots, Kelly Turner, the left tackle, Clay Springer, John Volk, Kyle Hurst, and Blake Davis up front. William Webb, the quarterback. Split out wide, Will Harris, Ross Bolin, and Holt Redwine. And Alex Carroll, the running back. It's going to be shotgun formation. Looking right side to throw. It's caught. And up to the 45-yard line goes Redwine. And he'll be shy of a first down by about 2 yards. Here's your McKinney North starting defense.
DN, Ruben Gonzalez, defensive tackle.
Brett Davis, nose guard.
Ryan Saldacani, right tackle.
Sean Robinson, DN. Holden Floyd, inside linebacker. Mike Smith, inside linebacker.
Mike Scott, cornerback.
Kenny McGowan, quarterback.
Brandon Dunn, safety.
Marquise Miller-Timms, safety.
This is going to be a handoff to Alex Carroll, running left guard. It's going to be met right at the line of scrimmage and knocked backwards. Colt Floyd makes the stop right at the line of scrimmage, and he did not have enough for the first down, or did he? Right there is John Leidy, and it's going to be very close. They may actually come out and measure this one. John, give me your point of view.
Guys, I actually think this is going to be about 2 inches short. I'm hoping so, at least. Back up to y'all.
He's hoping 2 inches short. Here come the sticks. They're going to be pulled out. The ball is actually placed in between the 46 and the 47-yard line. And they're going to pull the chains here. Early moment in this football game. And, ooh, he's very close. He's 2 inches short. John Leidy. What a call.
Nice job by John. That play was made by Colt Floyd. He's one of the leaders on this defense, and it's going to be important for Colt and the rest of the defense to make plays like that, because it's going to come down to inches at times. You know, take this play. And if you can stand up the runner as soon as you make contact, you're going to be in good shape.
Highland Park on 3rd down and inches. 11:05 left to go in the first quarter, just underway at Tom Kimbrough Stadium. Highland Park and McKinney North. In Murphy, Texas, Alex Carroll, the running back for Highland Park, waves to the Highland Park crowd, wanting them to get on their feet. On 3rd and short, 3rd and inches. Shotgun, and now flags will fly. It's going to be a false start against Highland Park. Back them up now. And it's going to be 3rd down and 5 and 2 inches.
Defense made that play. They were coming on a blitz. The offensive line was watching the defensive line make some adjustments. They're watching the linebackers come to the line of scrimmage. They got a little antsy, and one of them moved. And again, that's your defense making the play. And this time they made the play without a play happening, and that's almost even better. Now you go from a 3rd and inches to 3rd and 5 inches.
And this is a Highland Park team that may work even better with more room.
Well, anytime you got a chance for inches, you take it, because that's almost a given.
William Webb in shotgun formation, and he's going to fake the hand to Carroll. Wants to throw down the middle. Now throws it on the right side, and he's got a man, but he's caught, and he's out of bounds. Will Harris made the catch on the near sideline at about the 30-yard line, but he was out of bounds. Great coverage on the near side by Michael Scott.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if the coverage hadn't been there, if that pass would have still been out of bounds. I think that was just a bad pass by Webb to the side. But again, that illustrates the difference between 3rd and inches and 3rd and 5. Because now in this situation, 3rd and inches is almost an automatic running play, even if not a quarterback sneak, and you can't do that now.
Are they going for it?
Looks like it.
4th down and 5 from their own 46. Webb, shotgun formation. He's going to back up a little bit, and I think they're going to kick here. Nobody deep for McKinney North. And they do quick kick, and it's almost blocked. But a nice kick by Highland Park gets away inside the 25. Is going to roll now almost to the 20-yard line to the 21. A great kick.
Boy, how that big would that have been had it been blocked?
It ended up being a quick kick, and you're right. It was nearly blocked on this left side. But McKinney North will start at their own 21 with 10:23 left to go in the first quarter, no score.
32-yard punt there. Got a big break on the roll. But again, close to being blocked by one of the defenders coming in. And if he'd have known there was going to be a quick kick, he might have been able to. It just looked like he saw kicking it and almost stopped.
We'll give you the McKinney North starting offense right after this play, as Blake Mooney will come to the near side. Actually, that's Douglas near side as always. Mooney to the right. Herbal will move Barrett. He'll fake the hand, wants to throw, looking across the middle, now throws right side for Mooney at the 50, goes up for it, and it's incomplete. And now there's a flag down at the 45-yard line.
Yeah, the defender on that side didn't look back, basically mauled Mooney, and you can't do that. You could maul him if you look back, but he didn't do either. You know, he wasn't going for the ball, and he didn't look back. And those are the only 2 times you can really make contact with the receiver, and the defender didn't do either one. Easy flag.
So now McKinney North will be in even better position as they'll spot the ball now at the 36-yard line. It'll be first down for McKinney North. Again, moving right to left with 10:15 left to go in the first quarter. No score. Highland Park 3 and out.
Well, I know it's just early, but you know this is almost an exact opposite here of what North usually does. The penalties have hurt Highland Park. It went from 3rd and inches to 3rd and 5, and now a 15-yard pass interference.
Again, we'll try to give you the McKinney North starting offense after this play on 1st and 10. Herbal, shotgun. Barrett stands to his right, and he's going to fake the hand to him, throw again to the right side. Douglas caught at the 46 to the 45-yard line, and now they're going to spot him at the 46. The ball comes out late, but they're going to say Douglas was down. Here's your McKinney North starting offense.
tackle. Ryan Selby Carney, left guard.
Taylor Douth at center.
Colton left and right guard.
Houston Beasley, right tackle.
Jeff Olson, tight end. Alex Parker, wide receiver. David Douglas, wide receiver. Clayton Lee, wide receiver. Chase Barrett, running back. Eric Kerbel, quarterback.
First down and 10 for McKinney North on that pass and catch from Eric Kerbel to David Douglas. We have yet to see Chase Barrett run the ball with 9:58 left to go first quarter. Again, Highland Park 3 and out. Here's McKinney North on their first possession. Kerbel, shotgun. Barrett stands to his left. They're going to get the ball. Kerbel gets it, and he didn't really want it, and he has to roll around to the right side. It was a bad play, a miscue from the beginning, a misfire. It was the center, Tyler Douthit, who snapped the ball. Kerbel was not ready for it. Thank goodness he was looking because he caught the ball about chest high. And for a moment, it kind of stunned him. He stood there, and then he figured out, hey, I better do something with this. Took off to the right side, and it actually is going to be a loss of about 2 yards.
I don't know if he snapped it earlier, if that was supposed to be a design snap straight to Chase Barrett, because the line, I thought, was moving. I'd love to see a replay. But, I thought I saw the line just going and Eric Kerbel back on his heels.
Second down and 11. Handoff, Barrett, left tackle, big hole to the 50, 45, look out, 40, 35, 30, 25, can he outrun him to the 15, to the 10, down at the 8-yard line. Chase Barrett on his first play of the night. Tackled by Andy Veeman, or that one could have gone to the house. 9:01 left to go in the first quarter, no score, but McKinney North is knocking on the door.
Well, 48-yard run puts you there pretty quickly. Nice job, Chase Barrett. You're the one who believes that if this team is going to have any success against Highland Park, Chase Barrett's got to have a big night. Very illustrative of that point right there. A nice long gain puts him at first and goal.
They'll actually spot the ball at the 7-yard line after that big run by Barrett. Shotgun as always for McKinney North and Eric Kerbel. He's going to hand off Barrett again, running right tackle. Not much success here as he maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage and might even lost a few steps here. I think they'll mark it actually back at the 8-yard line, even the 9 possibly. And call it a 2-yard loss as they're going to spot it at the 9-yard line.
Well, the prior 3 plays have shown a little bit of balance. They had 3 first down, 1 rush, 1 pass, and 1 penalty. Of course, the 1 penalty came on a pass play.
Second down and goal. Moving right to left, McKinney North. Eric Kerbel. He wants to throw left side. The fade route in the end zone for David Douglas. And it's caught! It's touchdown time in Texas! McKinney North is on the board first. And you can stick that one directly up your bagpipe. It's 6-0.
Calm down, Monty. It's a long way to go. It's great that they got the first score. Last year they were playing back on their heels for the first 10 points because they were already down. They got a tie, and then Highland Park pretty much put on a show the rest of the way on offense. This time it was Highland Park's offense that couldn't get the first down after receiving the kickoff, and then it was McKinney North who came down and scored. The exact opposite of what happened last year. Stephen
Meyer on for the extra point here. It'll be Kenny McGowan, the holder. The kick is up. It's very high, and it's very good. And it is 7-0. McKinney North over Highland Park early. 8:12 left to go. First quarter back in a moment on 97.5 KLAK. Six plays, 79 yards on the drive that took 2 minutes and 11 seconds off the clock. McKinney North's Eric Kerbel hit David Douglas for a 9-yard touchdown pass on a fade route in the near side of the end zone, near corner. But it was Chase Barrett's 48-yard run that set it up.
Well, how about that catch by Douglas? It was pretty close to a diving attempt. Nice pass by Kerbel. If Douglas wasn't going to catch it, no one else was either, and you still have another down to go.
Stephen Meyer's kick is going to be high. It's going to be taken at about the 2-yard line. Coming up the left hash again, finding another seam, and finally tackled at the 25-yard line. Chris Williams makes the stop at the 25.
I saw a play and something I like. Colton Floyd playing wedge buster there. He knocked one of the wedge guys for Highland Park backwards about 5 yards. That's exactly what you need to do to stop a kickoff from being successful. You can't allow the wedge to get a nice solid footing like they did on the first kickoff. And Colton Floyd just lowered his shoulder, knocked one of them back. And now instead of starting at the 35, they're at the 25. And that, because Colton Floyd did that, that's a 10-yard difference in field position.
Alex Carroll and Ryan O'Dwyer in the backfield along with William Webb, who's in shotgun formation, 2 receivers to the near side. 1 to the left. Handoff. That's O'Dwyer, who's going to slip and fall after about a 2-yard loss. On the tackle is Brett Davis, the Badger, 6 foot, 250-pound senior, his 39th tackle. 7:52 left to go here in the first quarter. McKinney North on top, 7-0 early. Moving left to right. William Webb for Highland Park wants to throw it down the middle. Has a man, Millard Sims. Oh, it's caught by Alex Carroll at the 50. A big first down here for Highland Park to the 45-yard line in McKinney North territory. They'll mark the ball at the 44-yard line. And this, by far, obviously, is Highland Park's best field position.
Well, it's the first down.
Really only their 6th play of the game. Handoff. Carroll running left tackle. That's the belly. He's got the 40 to the 35, to the 34-yard line, maybe the 33, and another first down for Highland Park. Brandon Dunn makes the stop. He's the team's leading tackler with 83 coming in. It'll be a first down here.
I think this is what we kind of expected to see Highland Park do on the first drive. They've got 2 straight first downs on 2 plays, 1 rush and 1 pass.
Remember, the second quarter is big for both of these schools. McKinney North scores 172 in the second, and Highland Park scores 187. William Webb, high snap on the screen pass, throws it out, and a great play by Michael Scott at the 36-yard line, and that's going to be a loss on the screen pass. Just what a great play that was by the cornerback.
Well, you cannot defend, I stress, cannot defend that better than that. He was in the process of being blocked and was still able to make that tackle.
Michael Scott obviously has some great, we've mentioned this before, his dad was a professional cornerback, and it kind of runs in the blood there. You can see on that play what a nice play that was. Under 7 minutes now. Webb, shotgun. He stands at the 40, line of scrimmage at the 35. He wants to throw it down to the left side, and it's overthrown. Brandon Dunn in coverage and incomplete. It'll be 3rd down and 13 from the McKinney North 36-yard line.
Well, and one thing Highland Park likes to do, and you're noticing it here because I'm not getting a lot of chance to talk, they'll run it right at the line of scrimmage. As soon as the play's dead, they'll run another one. Sorry, I get a little testimony.
All right.
I've got great football points that aren't being made because they're running the play so quick.
Oh, so it's at least their fault.
Yeah, it's not mine. It's not yours.
Hey, I used to tell that to my buddy Lynn Burkhead all the time when I was doing color. 3rd down and 13 here, 6:31 left to go. Moving left to right is Highland Park. 3 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. 5 receiver set. Webb is flushed down to the pocket. He's very fast. He's got the 40, wants to throw it down the field. It's caught at the 20-yard line. Highland Park first down. And it's going to be caught by Will Lawson, the 6 foot, 175-pound senior. Came in with 27 catches, 407 yards, and a touchdown. Give him a little bit more there inside the 20. They'll mark it at the 18.
Well, I'm not sure what's going on that play. Mike Smith entered the field late and looked like they were playing a zone. He didn't enter the field with the huddle with the defense, and that allowed Lawson to be right in the middle there, wide open. I was watching him the whole time. He had no one on him.
Bolin split wide to the right. Redwine in the slot right side. Webb looks that way, throws to Redwine, and actually it's Bolin caught inside the 20 and dragged down by Michael Scott at the 16-yard line. They'll give him forward progress to the 15. 5:55 left to go first quarter. McKinney North on top, 7-0. Highland Park threatening here with a red zone opportunity at the 15-yard line.
Well, it's still early, but Mike Smith playing, or not Mike Smith, I'm sorry,
Michael Scott.
Cornerback out of Scott playing very well on Redwine.
2nd down and 7. And this is going to be a handoff to Carroll, running left tackle, and he's going to go to about the 11-yard line. So it'll be another 3rd down situation. Brett Davis makes the stop once again.
Right now, the running game, the offensive line is playing very well for Highland Park. They're getting the holes open, and they're making North's linebackers make the play.
Highland Park averages 246 pounds up front. That's compared to McKinney North's 254. Shotgun Webb, handoff. That's O'Dwyer again, and he's going to be close to the first down, but I don't think he got it. They're going to mark him at the 10-yard line, and that's going to be a little bit short. John, we haven't talked to you in a little while. How close is this one?
Guys, this is going to end up being about a yard short. He actually tripped and fell. His knee hit the ground, and he was down.
Talk about the atmosphere down there on the sidelines, John. We'll get back with John right after this play. 4:36 left to go in the first quarter. 7-0, McKinney North on top. William Webb for Highland Park's going to hand off to Carroll, trying to get the first down, and does, and he has a touchdown. So just like McKinney North, Highland Park has their own 9-yard touchdown in the first quarter. So it'll be the extra point coming on, and the extra point's taken care of by Chris Morris. They have different kickers for different situations. Morris comes on for the PAT. Brett Krause is the field goal kicker, and they did that kind of a little bit last year.
Yeah, it's odd that they do that. Curious that they went for it on fourth down around the 10-yard line. Surprised they didn't go for a field. Obviously, it worked out for them doing that, but it's a gutsy call by Coach Allen.
Well, it's on the tee. The kick's up, and the kick is good. So we are all knotted up with 4:24 left to go in the first quarter. McKinney North and Highland Park back in a moment on 97.5 KLAK. Welcome back to Tom Kimbrough Stadium. Monty Walker along with Brandon Helms. We're tied up 7-7 with 4:24 left to go in the first quarter. It was a 9-play, 75-yard drive that took 3 minutes and 18 seconds off the clock for Highland Park, and a 9-yard touchdown for Alex Carroll. And Highland Park will be booting it here. Kenny McGowan back, but Chase Barrett's going to take this one at the 3. Comes right side and trying to find that and break that wedge. He's got the 20 and tripped down at the 27-yard line. He had lots of green turf in front of him, but he was tripped at the last second. So McKinney North, and on the stop was Teal Loftus for Highland Park. So McKinney North will set up shop from their own 29-yard line, they'll call it.
That kickoff was designed as returned right. Basically, the wedge sets up on one side of the field or the other, sometimes in the center. And Chase caught that on the other side of the hash mark, so he ran east-west before going to the wedge, and it worked out because the wedge set up a nice seam for him.
Brandon Dunn in the slot. David Douglas comes near side. Moving right to left is McKinney North with 4:17 left to go first quarter. Herbal wants to throw near side. Douglas caught at the 35-yard line and down right there. A nice 6-yard gain on first down to bring up second down and 4.
Right now, Douglas is the only recipient of an Eric Herbal pass. He's been thrown to 3 times, and each of them have been completed.
Second down and 4. 3:51 left to go first quarter. Tied up 7-7. McKinney North and Highland Park. North from their own 35. Going to hand off to Barrett, running right tackle. Has a little gaping hole to the 40, up to the 42-yard line. Another first down for McKinney North. They have been very successful at mixing it up a little bit with Chase Barrett. Again, it was his 48-yard run earlier that set up the touchdown on their first drive.
Well, nice 7-yard run there. If they can get this kind of production out of Chase, the offense will have a pretty good time. It's just going to be up, as we saw in the last drive, the defense making a stop.
First down and 10 for McKinney North from their own 42-yard line. Moving right to left, Herbal shotgun formation. Dunn and Douglas to the near side. Hand off Barrett. No, he's going to fake it. Wants to throw down the field. He's got Brandon Dunn and is overthrown at the 23-yard line. Great coverage. It was tremendous coverage by Highland Park's Jonathan Perlman, the 5'11", 160-pound junior.
Yeah, there was some contact going on from both sides. The officials let him play. But the interesting thing there, Blake Mooney was open on that play. He was the slot receiver. He was going down, and he made a post pattern cut, and he got in front of his defender and was a yard away. But Eric Herbal was looking at Dunn, threw it that way instead.
Looking near side the entire time. 3:15 left to go in the first. Second down and 10 for McKinney North. Moving right to left. 7-7 with Highland Park. Olsen in the slot to stand up tight end. Moves Barrett over to the left side. They're going to pitch it. No, Herbal keeps it on the option, and it's kind of stuffed out right at the 44-yard line. It'll bring up third down and long. That didn't fool Highland Park at all.
Well, I don't know if it was trying to fool him. It was the option play, and the defensive end quickly broke free. I believe it was on that side, John Foose. And Herbal had no one to pitch it to, because if he would, Chase Barrett would have been stuck for a 5-6 yard loss, if not a fumble. That's just well defense.
You can hear Highland Park's crowd. It's a big third down and 8 for McKinney North. Herbal, shotgun, Douglas near side, Mooney far right. Herbal wants to throw, drops back 3 steps, looks near side, has Douglas caught, first down at the 40, at the 45, breaks away for a minute, is going to finally be down at the 43-yard line. Douglas would not go down. He doesn't look very fast. He just kept slithering out a little bit. Broke out of one tackle but couldn't break the tackle of Andy Veeman. But it'll be a first down for McKinney North. A big 3rd and 8 conversion there.
Nice gain of 14 on the play. Again, Douglas and Herbal are the only pass-catch combination so far in this game. They've hooked up 4 times.
Herbal will go back in shotgun formation. Olsen will be on the left side of the line this time. And they're going to hand off to Barrett, running up the middle. Breaks a little seam to the 38-yard line. And Highland Park has been a little suspect on the defensive side of the ball. So far this year, they've given up 1,720 rushing yards. That's 172 a game. They've given up 138 a game passing-wise. They're ranked 31st in the area defensively. Normally, they're way up higher than that.
Well, that passing stat, not too bad. I mean, that's not a whole lot considering. But that rushing, oh, man. You can't give up 172 yards and expect to win, yet somehow they have.
Well, they have because they have tremendous offense, which is ranked 1st in the area.
Yep.
2nd down and 7 here. Closing in on the final moments of the first quarter, Barrett is going to run to the 35-yard line, just shy of the 35 actually, in between the 36 and the 35. $1:25 left to go in the first quarter clock. We're all knotted up.
Well, McKinney North's offense looked good on this drive. They turned out a couple first downs when they've had a 3rd down. And now they're looking at about a 3rd and long 3.
Olsen will come to the left side of the offensive line, be a stand-up tight end. A yard off the line of scrimmage. Herbal shotgun. Barrett stands to his left, now moves to the right. Herbal wants to throw, looks right side. Mooney caught it at the 21-yard line and down. Another first down for McKinney North. Mooney's first catch of the game came in with 40 catches, 738 yards, and 15 touchdowns. Matt Bonanno makes the stop, the 5'9", 165-pound sophomore, and you don't see many sophomores, much less juniors, playing for Highland Park.
No, they're really not. If you look at the roster, there's a lot of juniors and seniors on there. But Blake Mooney exposed him on that play.
15-yard pass and catch. First down for McKinney North at the Highland Park 21. Shotgun, low snap. Herbal digs it out. Under pressure. Throws it to the left side. And Brandon Dunn has to dive for it. And it's out of his outstretched arms at the goal line. Incomplete. 2nd down and 10.
Credit that purely to the pressure. If Eric Herbal has his feet, Dunn had his man beat. Right now, it looks like the Highland Park secondary is suspect to the crossing pattern. We saw a couple of guys get open on previous plays, and right there he was coming across from the far side to the near side and had his man beat by 2 steps. But because of the pressure, Herbal wasn't able to hit him in stride because he was having to avoid the rush.
We'll check down with Jonathan Leidy right after this play here to see if the wind is going to affect anything when we switch sides here in a moment. 32 seconds left in the first quarter. Herbal on 2nd and 10. From the Highland Park 21, barking, now gets it, handoff, now he's going to fake it, throws out to the left side. Douglas caught it again at the 14-yard line down, close to a first down, but about a yard short. 24 seconds and rolling in the first quarter. John Leidy, what's this wind going to do to us at all? Is there any wind?
Guys, there's not any wind at all. Looking at the flags, actually, as we talk, the flags are hanging straight down. This is going to be about a 3rd and 2 to go. And I think they're just going to convert it over to the second quarter here. Back up to y'all.
All right, thanks. And that is the end of the first quarter. 7-7 if you're McKinney North. I think you got to be happy right now. We're going to the second quarter. Well, they're saying there's point. Oh, now they're going to run it down. 7-7. Highland Park and McKinney North. Back in a moment on 97.5 KLAK. Ninth play of the drive. Handoff. Chase Barrett running left guard. Not much doing. Trying to find that first down marker. He may have actually had it. They're going to mark it real close. John Leidy, tell us.
Guys, I think he had an extra little pop there at the end of it, and I think it's going to give him first down here.
All right, Brandon.
Actually, it's funny, John, you say that. I'm going to give credit to the offensive line. They were 2 yards downfield by the time Chase got there. They got a lot of push, and they're giving him the first down. Because the offensive line, I mean, he didn't get anything past the offensive line, but because they were able to move the defense back those 2 yards, I mean, it's as easy as a first down as you're going to find.
11th play of the drive here. I called it 9th a moment ago. I actually missed one. It'll be the 11th play here on first down and 10. Just now in the second quarter, moving left to right now is McKinney North towards that south end zone, Tom Kimbrough Stadium. Shotgun formation. Herbal now moves Barrett to the right on the option play. Herbal's going to keep it. Running to the 10. And he's tackled at the 8-yard line, maybe even the 7. The line judge comes up and says the 7. and Jamie Nolan makes the stop. The officials for tonight's game out of the Dallas chapter, the referee Mike Woodard, the umpire Dickie Dunn, the line judge is David Tucker, the head linesman Jake Rickenstein, and the back judge Jerome Berglund, as I have trouble reading my own handwriting. Second down and 7, 10:49 left to go, second quarter. Moving left to right, McKinney North. 7-7, all tied up. McKinney North is 7 yards away from another score here. Two receivers to either side. Actually, Mooney comes near side. Handoff Barrett. He's met at the line of scrimmage, and you can hear Highland Park fans as Brett Martin met him right at the line of scrimmage, and they might have even lost a yard. They'll mark it at the 12, so a 1 yard loss.
Actually, a 3 yard loss, or 4 yard loss. They had 3rd and 7. They had the ball initially at the 11 yard line, so, you know, it's that old cliche, you can get a first down without scoring. But it was a 4 yard loss there by Chase, but that was just tremendous pressure by the Highland Park interior defense.
3rd down and 11 for McKinney North. Brandon Dunn in the slot. David Douglas split out wide left. Mooney comes near side. Chase Barrett in the backfield. Herbal, shotgun. Looks back. Wants to throw to the left side. The fade route for Brandon Dunn in the end zone, and it is incomplete in the back left side of the end zone. It'll be 4th down for McKinney North, and Stephen Meyer will probably come on to give McKinney North a lead here with 9:45 left to go in the second quarter.
Well, I almost thought Brandon got mobbed there, but it was on the far side. It's tough to tell where the ball was compared to where the defenders were.
Brandon Dunn came into tonight's game with 7 catches, 110 yards. He has not been a primary receiver all year. Normally, Aaron Fuller has seen most of the touches over there in that slot position. 16 catches, 147 yards. The ball will be spotted at the 19. It'll be a 29-yard field goal for Stephen Meyer. The kick is up. It's very high, and it splits the uprights and good. 10-7, McKinney North back in the lead with 9:41 left to go in the second quarter. Back in a moment on 97.5 KLAK. Welcome back to Tom Kimbrough Stadium. Monty Walker along with Brandon Helms. It was a 13-play enormous drive that took 4 minutes and 17 seconds off the first quarter and took 2 minutes and 19 seconds off the second quarter. So it was a tremendous drive, and it was a 29-yard field goal by Stephen Meyer, who gives McKinney North the lead here in the second quarter, 10-7. Here's the kick by Stephen Meyer. It's going to be taken at the 5-6 yard line and coming up the near hash. Now tries to spin out of a tackle and does at the 22-yard line, and that's going to be Seth Gardner who made the return, and Dennis Craig makes the tackle for McKinney North.
This game, again, paralleling a lot of last year. Both teams...
Without a punt return.
Well, true. Both teams last year scored a touchdown, then a field goal first. And right now that's the same kind of approach, I guess, if you will, that McKinney North is taking. They got a touchdown on the first drive, a field goal on the second. Good news is they scored on both.
This must be the team that showed up the first 8 weeks, I would say.
Yeah, it's looking a lot better. I feel a lot more comfortable right now.
Highland Park, William Webb under pressure, flushes out, now throws the ball down the field. Coming up and getting it is Seth Gardner, who makes the catch at the 44-yard line.
Whoa, what's Kenny McGowan doing?
Just like that, Highland Park storms out to near midfield. They'll mark him actually at the 46. Say he took a couple of steps forward on a 23-yard pass and catch from Webb to Gardner.
Well, that play was setting up nicely. McKinney North was able to get immediate pressure inside, forcing Webb out of the pocket. Quarterbacks do not feel comfortable generally out of the pocket. He threw it not at the greatest of passes, and it looked like Kenny McGowan at the very least was going to be able to bat it down, but I don't know what happened.
Gardner comes to the near side. They're going to hand off to Carroll. Big hole to the 50. Makes a one-man miss. Still fighting for yardage inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. Brandon Dunn makes the stop. Alex Carroll, in his career, well, Alex Carroll last year ran for 13. This year has 1,302 yards and 20 touchdowns. Last year, 949, 21 touchdowns. And in 2004, as a sophomore, had 555 yards and 5 touchdowns.
I remember him loud and clear from last year.
Shotgun, handoff to O'Dwyer. He's got a big hole. He makes one man miss down to the 35-yard line. Brandon Dunn makes the stop again, and a big 8-yard gain on first down for Highland Park. 8:38 left to go in the second quarter. McKinney North on top, 10-7. And as we were talking off the air a minute ago, it may be who has the ball last in this football game.
Yeah, it's probably a little early to be able to say that, but these offenses are really good, and the defense aren't as good. So it's curious that Ryan O'Dwyer is getting a lot of carries. It's his third carry on the game. Coming into this one, he had 11 carries on the year.
11 carries, 71 yards for O'Dwyer. And Webb is wanting to throw this time. Left side, looking for Gardner. And now they're going to call a flag on Kenny McGowan at the 16-yard line. They're going to say McGowan had his left hand on Gardner's hip.
Well, he went for the ball, but that doesn't automatically excuse you from a pass interference penalty.
Well, that'll give Highland Park great field position here and a chance. Obviously a touchdown here, they would take the lead for the first time tonight.
Right. Well, going back to that pass interference, you can go for the ball, but they're going to get him a holding. Well, that's a little different and probably a better call. But you can't use the offense as a springboard to go for the ball. And that's probably what happened there. But luckily for North, he only held instead of pass interference. So it's different in a lot of yards. If it was going to be a 15-yard penalty, difference of 10, it's going to be an automatic first down no matter what, though.
Yeah, 1st and 10 from the McKinney North 25.
It's also curious to note that that's the first North penalty, and it comes in the second quarter.
Right to left will go Highland Park from the McKinney North 25. Handoff O'Dwyer running that far side, trying to turn the corner at the 20 and does. Turns it up to the 5 and knocked out of bounds about the 3-yard line. Well, they're going to say actually at the 5 is where he stepped out. It'll be 1st and goal from Highland Park. And where in the world has Ryan O'Dwyer come from?
No idea. I wonder if he was injured on the year and he just got healthy the last game or two. But right now, we thought the North rushing defense was pretty good, but Highland Park's rushing now 9 times for 65 yards.
7:55 left to go in the second quarter. McKinney North in the lead here, 10-7, but Highland Park trying to answer back. Gardner and Will Lawson will converse a little bit.
Well, the officials blew things dead. I think something was on the field that shouldn't have been.
Okay.
Not sure exactly what it was.
1st and goal from the 5. From the McKinney North 5. Highland Park is going to hand off to Carroll. Coming left side. Skips over one tackler. He's into the end zone. It's a touchdown for Highland Park, and they take the lead for the first time tonight. 13-10 awaiting the PAT with 7:49 left to go in the second quarter.
Well, North called the right thing. It was a run blitz. But Carroll was patient, found his hole, and was able to basically power forward into the end zone.
His second touchdown of the night for Alex Carroll. And now it will be Chris Morris for this PAT. The holder is Ross Bolin. The kick is up, and the kick is good.
Well,
14-10.
It's not done yet. Flag on the field. Kenny North was offside. The guy coming on the near side jumped across the line.
They're going to decline it, so we'll take a break. 14-10. Highland Park in the lead. 7:49 left to go in the second quarter. Back in a moment on 97.5 KLAK. 6 plays, 77 yards for Highland Park. It took 1:45 off the clock, and Alex Carroll takes it in for the second time tonight on a 5-yard touchdown. And now Highland Park leads 14-10, their first lead of the evening.
Well, all that did was that Highland Park basically just held serve. They gave up on their first possession. North scored. Then they scored on their second. North scored. Then they scored on the third. Now it's McKinney North's third.
This will be Matt Bonanno drilling this one, and Kenny McGowan has to pick it up at the 1-yard line. He was wanting it to go out of bounds. Now he breaks the tackle up to the 20, up to the 25, 30, cuts it inside and knocked down at the 38-yard line. Ball's free, but McKinney North jumps on it.
Well, I think
and he might have been down anyway. You're right.
Wow.
Kenny McGowan.
Well, and you wonder sometimes why when he makes a mistake like he did on the previous drive where he he should have made a defensive play and didn't. That's why he's on this team. He makes plays like that.
But that's one of those calls you have to kind of give him credit because he was trying to will the ball out of bounds.
It wasn't a dumb play.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that.
He's trying to will it out of bounds. It just wasn't going to go. So he had to make that quick decision and finally pick it up, and he did. And thank goodness he got away because he could have been in a lot of trouble.
But you notice what was happening, his return team was coming to him to try to set up the block, so he took a step that way, and so did all the Highland Park kickoff teams, and then he just split the difference, and were it not for the kicker, probably would have been a pretty good return.
McKinney North, 1st and 10 from their own 39-yard line. 7:39 left to go, second quarter. Man in motion, and that's going to be Mooney, and they're going to give it to him on the end around reverse. No, Herbal wants to throw it, and wide open. Down the field is Brandon Dunn, and he dropped it. At the 40-yard line, Brandon Dunn was all alone. It was 6 points, and he dropped it.
No question that's a touchdown. A lot of times you'll see announcers say if he hadn't made the tackle or if he hadn't done this, that would have been touchdown. There is no way that is not a touchdown unless you drop it.
My goodness.
And what a play. There was a lot of misdirection. At first a fake to Barrett up the middle, then the motion man coming to the far side and Dunn. It worked great.
Worked to perfection. 2nd down and 10 here. And Herbal's going to drop 3 steps back, looking right side, fires it, and it's caught by Mooney at the 50-yard line and drugged down after he makes about a 4-yard gain after the catch to the 46-yard line. Matt Bonanno makes the stop for Highland Park.
Well, and there were some people who were concerned about Eric Herbal's performance in big games. So far, he's been pretty solid tonight. Nice start to this one. He's completed 7 out of 11 passes.
Herbal conversing with Chase Barrett way back behind the line of scrimmage. Now they run to the line of scrimmage. 1st and 10 at the Highland Park 45. 7:26 on the clock here in the second quarter. Highland Park leads 14-10. Shotgun. Handoff, Barrett left tackle up the middle, and he's going to go down at the 42-yard line, so a gain of about 3 or 4. Brett Martin makes the stop, the linebacker for Highland Park.
Well, after Highland Park gave up the 48-yard run on Chase Barrett's first carry, it hasn't been as good since. He's only got 13 yards on 8 carries. They're starting to figure him out a little bit, but one guy they're having trouble with is Eric Herbal's passing and David Douglas is receiving.
Up front, Highland Park averages 217 pounds on that defensive line. McKinney North's offense outweigh them by a lot, averaging 254.
Not sure what the delay in the game is. The referees were talking. The game clock stuck at 7:22. The play clock at 25.
On 2nd down and 7, the team during this little delay, McKinney North waving to the McKinney North fans.
Oh, they had to reset the play clock, the game clock from 7:22 to 16. Sorry,
and the McKinney North faithful on that far sideline are absolutely standing up, going crazy for their Bulldogs here.
Well, there's no love lost between them and Highland Park, I'll say that.
Big rivalry between McKinney Lions and Highland Park go back a long way. This is really starting a new rivalry with McKinney North. 2nd down and 7, as Brandon Dunn stated, this is our new rivalry. Herbal is going to fake the hand, throwing it down to the right side, and is caught by Olsen. A 1st down to the 27-yard line. The big tight end makes the catch. Only his 13th of the year. His career numbers, that's his 20th catch, 212 yards and 1 touchdown. And that's probably the biggest catch he's made so far.
Well, and it's funny, I was listening back to last year's game, and I made mention that Jeff Olsen's not a receiving tight end. And for the most part, he's there for his blocking, but that was a tremendous catch.
It really was. In traffic with guys all around him. He made the catch. 1st down and 10. McKinney North at the Highland Park 29, moving left to right. 14-10, Highland Park leads with 6:25 left to go in the second. Herbal runs the option to the left side. He's going to keep it. He's got a lot of room to the 20. Fakes the man to the 20 and down at the 18-yard line. Another 1st down for McKinney North. Move those sticks once again as Andy Veeman makes a stop for Highland Park. Wow.
Nice job there by Eric Herbal. And that was one thing that hurt them on one of the plays last drive, was that Highland Park played the option very well. The defensive end still went to the pitch man, Chase Barrett, but there was no one else in pursuit of Eric Herbal, and he found his seam and was able to gain 12 yards.
Blake Mooney to the near side. Aaron Fuller in the slot this time. Barrett stands behind Herbal and a little bit to the left. shotgun, two-step drop, Herbal throwing it to the left side and undershoots David Douglas. It's going to be incomplete. And Douglas almost made the one-handed catch off the turf, but couldn't haul it in.
Well, yeah, Herbal couldn't have thrown that any later because he would have had to take a sack. You'd rather get an incompletion than a sack for the loss of yards in the down. Scott's defense coming in on a blitz there on the far side, and on a timing pattern like that, if you come in on a blitz untouched, you're going to disrupt the play, and that's a perfect example of it right there.
Aaron Fuller comes to the near side in the slot. Split out wide is Mooney. Split out wide left on the far side is Douglas. Herbal, handoff Barrett up the middle, and it's going to be tackled right at the line of scrimmage. Might have gained a foot. And a flag is down, as Jared Foyt points out here up in the booth. We'll have to check and see what this one is. No indication still. And no signs of distress from either team. Personal foul, face mask against Highland Park.
All right.
My goodness.
Well, it's going to be an automatic first down. The second time the Highland Park defense has given that gift to the North offense, and they'll take it every time, obviously.
Well, they'll spot the ball inside the 10 to the 7 or 8 yard. Is that the 8 yard line? It's the 7 yard line. No, it's the 8. Sorry.
Well, and the thing is that's a penalty of only 9 yards. But the more important thing is you give North a fresh set of downs. They were looking at a third and very long.
First and goal for McKinney North. Moving left to right. Herbal, shotgun. Wants it, gets it. Handoff. Barrett up the middle. Bang to the 5 yard line. Second down and goal from the 5 after about a 3 yard gain there. Closing in on 5 minutes on the second quarter clock. Highland Park leads 14-10, and wouldn't it be nice to have a lead at half this year after that crazy halftime play?
Well, let's not put the cart before the horse. Remember how fast that crazy play happened last year?
It happened very fast.
Curious, though, that's the first time Chase Barrett's been in positive numbers in this quarter. With that carry, he's now at 2 yards. He came into the quarter with 62 yards. Now it's 64.
Herbal, handoff, Barrett up the middle, plows his way down to the 3, down to the 2, close to the end zone. No indication. They're going to say he's down at the 1 yard line.
Well, again, a good solid play, and you're going to be looking at a third and goal at the 1 yard line. You like your chances there. Even if, worst case scenario, you don't get it. Well, worst case scenario would be a turnover. Let's not go there. But if they don't get a positive yard, they're still a great chance for a field goal.
Third and goal here from the 1. McKinney North, full house backfield. Shotgun for Herbal. Barrett stands behind him, now moves to the left. Handoff, right tackle, touchdown. It is touchdown time in Texas for McKinney North. As I stumble all over that one, but who cares? They have the lead here, 16-14, awaiting the PAT.
Yeah, under normal circumstances this year, Monty, that would have been an accurate expression. It's touchdown time in McKinney.
Not
but
tonight.
We're not in McKinney now. Nice job. Yeah, don't think that play was unexpected. It was a simple rush between the tackles. This time it came on the right side between the right guard and right tackle. And they did their job effectively enough for Chase Barrett to get in the end zone. I mean, that's a perfect example of a short yardage play.
42, Stephen Myers for the point after.
The point after, Kenny McGowan has it on the tee. It's up, and it is good. 17-14, McKinney North in the lead over Highland Park. It's early. Hang on. 4:10 left to go in the second quarter. Back in a moment on 97.5 KLAK. Welcome back to Tom Kimbrough Stadium, where McKinney North leads Highland Park 17-14. It was a 10-play, 61-yard drive that took 3 minutes and 29 seconds off the clock here in the second quarter, capped off by a 1-yard touchdown by Chase Barrett, and a huge face mask call against Highland Park set that one up.
Yeah, there's no question about it. They were looking at a 3rd and 10.
And we have 4 minutes and 10 seconds left to go in the second, and here's the kickoff by McKinney North. It's going to sail into the end zone, and bringing it out is Highland Park coming up to the left side. That's Gardner again, I believe, and he has a lot of room, and he's tripped up by Stephen Meyer once again. And actually that's Alex Carroll who brought that one back out of the end zone. So good running room for Carroll, and nice starting position for Highland Park at the 33-yard line at their own 33.
Say what you will about the Highland Park skilled position players, but their blockers are just as good. And that was illustrated nicely there on that return because Carroll took that 3 yards deep into the end zone going backwards. And their blockers were still able to hold their blocks, and Carroll basically didn't have to make anybody miss.
Webb stands in shotgun formation. He wants to throw. 7-step drop, setting up the screen. It's caught, and a nice job there by Highland Park out to the 50, and he keeps his feet. That's O'Dwyer to the 35-30, 25-20. O'Dwyer is gone, and Highland Park scores. And that's going to be a flag taunting on Highland Park. O'Dwyer high-stepped into the end zone and waved his hands up to the sky as is to say, hey, look at me. But with 3:50 left, Highland Park scores there on a screen pass that he tiptoed down the sidelines. Wow.
Well, what happened there is McKinney North, I don't want to say they were baited. Basically, they played right into the hands of what the screen pass is designed to do. Get everybody on the defense behind the running back where they think they have a chance of getting Webb, Stafford's in Georgia. And then once you throw it, the blockers are there to get anybody else coming up. I mean, that's the illustration of how a screen pass should be.
Well, we'll see what they're going to do with this flag here. The officials are talking about it.
Well, if it is unsportsmanlike conduct, it should be enforced on the kickoff, which should put McKinney North in good position. There's 3:50 left in the game. It's almost as if Highland Park maybe has scored too soon.
That's something Randy Allen coach teams normally don't do. Speaking of Randy Allen, from Abilene Cooper and SMU, got his master's at A&M. He's 90-9 here at Highland Park.
Oh, is that all?
90-9. That's 79-3 during the regular season. That's amazing.
So what's the holdup?
Well, they're still sorting this one out down there. Overall, Randy Allen, 243, 68, and 6 in his 26th season.
Well, that's why he's one of the highest paid coaches in the state.
Second highest paid coach in the state. Right behind Sam Harrell from Ennis. They're still sorting this one out. Maybe John Leidy has something for us. John?
Guys, they are assessing the penalty here. They're determining whether it should be taken off now or taken off later on the kickoff. Back up to y'all.
Well, Brandon's shaking his head no.
I don't think that's the discussion. Jared's pointing out to me he thinks there might be a late hit on McKinney North. Coming out making a hit was Rashad Robinson after O'Dwyer scored. Now, this could be a possibility that both teams are penalized. Now they're trying to figure out how that's going to work out. Well, there's no question that it's going to be penalized on the kickoff.
I saw O'Dwyer high-stepping in the end zone, and then as soon as he did that, I looked to the official to see if he saw it, and as soon as he did, he got that flag out of his belt and threw it in the air.
Well, there are two flags on the field, meaning one official could have seen one thing and the other official could have seen something else. I mean, again, that's what they're, and this is different because if it's against McKinney, then North, they put it on the field.
Well, if anything else, this is completely taking the momentum away from McKinney North. Obviously, they had it taken away from them with that 67-yard touchdown pass and catch on the screen pass, but this is even worse.
Okay, we've got two dead balls and sportsmanlike conduct on Highland Park, and then a personal foul late hit on North. So that's Jared. Good call there. That's why he's our spotter. He sees things that sometimes we don't. But it looks like they are enforcing. That's why I was wondering, because if it's on the defense, you put it on the extra point if it's a dead ball after a touchdown. But if it's on the offense, it's assessed on the kickoff. So now they were trying to debate, well, if it's on the defense and offense, where do we assess it there? And in this case, it's going to be coming on the extra point, which in this case is going to be paramount to what's going to be the equivalent of almost a 37-yard field goal. So, I mean, that could be a big penalty.
It could be. Of course, Highland Park has 150 players on the roster, and surely someone can kick it through with the 4 kickers they run out there.
Well, now, because that wouldn't be, because if there were penalties, they would be basically they would offset each other.
Well, Chris Morris is out there, the young man who normally boots the PATs. Now, they do have a different kicker for field goals, and that's Brett Krause, but he is not out there. It is Morris who's out there who normally kicks the PAT.
Well, I'm still confused because they're putting the ball around the 10, which actually make it with a 27-yard field goal, which means that then they're going to penalize both teams. Well, this is confusing because if they're offsetting, then the play would just stand. But since they're dead ball, what looks like they're going to do is penalize Highland Park on the PAT and probably penalize North on the kickoff.
We'll find out momentarily. Right now it stands 20-17. Highland Park in the lead with 3:50 left to go in the second quarter. We're awaiting a PAT here after a 67-yard screen pass to Ryan O'Dwyer where he tippy-toed down the sidelines and never stepped out apparently all the way to the end zone.
Well, he made some nice cuts. Right now the officials and Sean Pratt are having a discussion. And it looks like
they have sorted things out, and now we're about ready to kick this PAT here.
Well, and then I'm still confused because if it is an unsportsmanlike conduct that's being accepted as a penalty, the ball's at the 9-yard line, making that a 6-yard penalty.
Well,
I'm confused.
Morris will attempt the PAT, which essentially is a 22-yard field goal here. He'll step it off. The snap is down. It's on the tee. The kick is up. And it's good anyway. 21-17. Highland Park in the lead. 3:50 left to go in the second quarter. Back in a moment on 97.5 KLAK. Maybe singing the blues after a touchdown, but McKinney North fans are nowhere near singing the blues right now.
Yeah, isn't that a little early, Gene?
21-17, Highland Park in the lead here after a one-play, 67-yard drive, if you call it that. 13 seconds off the clock with 3:50 left to go before half. Highland Park leads here 21-17, and you think, man, McKinney North desperately needs to score here to have an advantage before the half.
Oh, I don't know about desperate. If you want the advantage, yeah, it would be desperately, but they're in good position.
Going into the half where the lead would be so huge for McKinney North.
The ball's at the 40-yard line, meaning McKinney got penalized 5 yards.
Well, here's the kick. It's going to be taken at the 3 by Kenny McGowan. Up the right hash to the 5, to the 20, down to the 25. He lost the ball, and McKinney North, I think, got back on it. Highland Park says no. They say they have it. A fight for it. The officials are scrambling at the bottom of the pile. Still scrambling, trying to find, I know McKinney North, and they say they recovered. McKinney North's ball at their own 27-yard line, and that could have been disastrous for Kenny McGowan.
I'm not sure who was the trail man, but I believe it was the deep man with Kenny McGowan.
Colin Hager came up with the fumble recovery.
Which would be Chase Barrett then, I believe, is the one who alertly jumped on that one. I mean, those are momentum-changing plays, Monty.
That would be huge.
Yeah, if they'd have lost that, all of a sudden this great first half, it would go south very quickly because at the very least you would expect HP to get a field goal.
Right now they're just trading blows back and forth.
Well, and basically they're holding serve. Right now after equal amounts of possessions, North has the advantage depending on this possession.
First down and 10, McKinney North from their own 27. Handoff Barrett. Right tackle going nowhere. Maybe a yard to the 28. On the tackle, Conrad Kaltenbach.
Well, he's a big defensive end right there. He's going to be a tough assignment. He's been the reason why Chase hasn't had a very successful second quarter.
Kaltenbach, 6'3", 215 pounds. He's being taken head-on by Houston Beasley, the right tackle over there.
You know, Houston's not bad himself. He got the weights advantage, but, I can tell you right now, Conrad's pretty strong.
In the slot for McKinney North is Aaron Fuller. Chase Barrett stands to the right of Eric Herbel, who drops back 2 steps. Looking left side now across the middle. It's bobbled and almost incomplete, or almost picked off, rather. David Douglas came across the middle, had the ball, and then tipped it up. It was one of those that scared you like last year before the half where the ball was tipped up instead of down. But this one falls incomplete.
Well, that would have been good or bad, depending, because there was a North receiver and an HP defender there.
We've only seen one punt in this football game, and it was on the very first drive by Highland Park. This is a crucial 3rd down and 9, right before the half for McKinney North. Moving left to right from their own 28-yard line. 3rd and 9. Herbel in the gun. 2 receivers to the near side. Drops back 3 steps. Throws right side. That is Mooney, and it's caught and down at the 43-yard line, and a first down for McKinney North, and another huge third down conversion for McKinney North.
Well, they don't come any bigger than that one either. If you don't get a first down and have to punt to Highland Park with 2.5 left, again, it goes back almost to that turnover. You basically, take a great first half of work and you're in trouble.
And I don't want to jinx anything here, but my goodness, it's like Aikman to Irvin on those quick outs. Anytime you want that first down, it's right there, and it's been there all night.
It's looking real good.
First down and 10 for McKinney North. 2 minutes, 50 seconds on the clock. Herbal drops back 3 steps, looking right side, flushed out, now rolls out left. Still looking down the field, throws it left, wide open is Douglas, caught it at the 45, down to the 40, flag down, and knocked out of bounds at the 41. The flag is way over here on this side of the field, and I believe it's going to come back with a hold.
It's either holding or an illegal man downfield. That's what happens when plays like that take a turn for the worst.
Did Herbal go across the line when he threw it?
I don't believe so. I was watching that. If he did, it was by a step at the most.
Well, there's 2 minutes and 39 seconds on the second quarter clock. Highland Park leads 21-17.
And it was a legal man downfield. And that's what happens when the quarterback is trying to make his moves and you think he's going to start to run, the offensive lineman disengage, and you cannot, if you're an offensive lineman, go more than 3 yards down the field without the ball getting there too.
What a huge penalty that is.
And that's only the second on North, but boy, it comes at an inopportune time.
Basically goes from 138 back to the other.
I apologize. It's the third on North. I forgot to get that double penalty on the touchdown.
So it'll be 1st and 15 for McKinney North from their own 38-yard line. 2 minutes, 39 seconds in the second quarter. Down 21-17 to Highland Park. Showing blitz. Now they back off on the option. Herbal keeps it around the left side. He's going to gain up to the 40-yard line to the 41. So a 3-yard gain here on first down, and just trying to milk this clock, I think, a little bit is Sean Pratt and the McKinney North Bulldogs. Don't want to give them another shot before the half.
Yeah, and that's part of the reason, but at the same time, if all of a sudden now you look at a third and long, you may leave too much time on there anyway. You just need to try to go what works. And I want to take you back to the Frisco game, Bonnie. They didn't run the option at all in the first half, and they did the second with success. And they've had mixed results here in the first.
Brandon Dunn in the slot on the near side. Mooney split out wide here to the near side on the right, and Douglas split out wide left. Herbal looking across the middle. Steps up in the pocket, throws it down the field. Brandon Dunn is, a great play and a flag down.
Either interference or holding.
Well, it was Dutch Cruz who was on the coverage for Highland Park. Brandon Dunn was going down. That may be interference against Dutch Cruz in Highland Park.
Well, one way or another, it's going to be an automatic first down for North because Dunn had his man beat. The ball was slightly overthrown, but not enough overthrown that Cruz couldn't get there, or rather that Cruz could get there and make a play without committing a penalty.
And so it will be against the defense.
Well, it's only the 5-yarder, but the most important thing, Monty, is it gives them that automatic first down, and now you can start thinking about taking more time off the clock because you're going to have a fresh set of downs.
Well, it takes McKinney North into Highland Park territory at the 49-yard line, moving left to right. $1:48 left to go in second quarter. 21-17, Highland Park in the lead. McKinney North, 1st and 10. Herbal, shotgun. Barrett right behind him. He's going to hand off to him. Left tackle, a big hole for a moment as he crosses the 45 down to the 43-yard line. A nice 6-7-yard gain on first down.
Interesting that they decide to run with time ticking. You're at a minute and a half and not showing any signs of urgency, but they're working with less than half a field, and you may not need that urgency until there's about a minute left because then you can feel comfortable.
All you need is one big play down the field, and they have a lot of big play receivers, one on each side. Showing blitz is Highland Park. Now they back off. Herbal looks left side, throws it, and Douglas makes the catch at the 35 and thrown out of bounds after a first down right there. They'll say he stayed in.
Well, they got wrapped up. Now they're calling it quits. He got wrapped up first, but that would have been a really quick whistle to stop forward progress.
Andy Veeman makes the stop on David Douglas, who made the catch. They'll spot the ball at the 34-yard line of Highland Park. A first down for McKinney North. who is trailing Highland Park right now, 21-17, with 1:06 left to go before half. Desperately, not desperately, but really needing to get into this end zone and have a lead going into the half. First down and 10. Handoff. Barrett, right guard, right up the middle, actually, and he's taken down almost immediately after a 1 or 2 yard gain with his second down and long.
Well, now we're under that a minute. But, again, they're chiseling away at that field, and we're going to have a timeout here on North.
We'll take 1-2. Back in a moment on 97.5 KLAK. 21-17, Highland Park in the lead over McKinney North here. 56, well, no, that's not right. Just before the half, they're winding the clock on the timeout, actually.
This should be less than 47 seconds left to go until the timeout's over.
Yeah, I would think so. It'll be second down and about 8 for McKinney North. I think it was 1:06. Was it not?
Well, it just reached under a minute. I remember that. What the heck's going on?
Well, the clock is winding down.
Well,
they've got the timeout running down, but they need the official clock up. And they're waiting for the scoreboard operator to get the real time up there is what they're doing, and they may actually have to let this run down.
All right. Well, let's talk about the game. Isn't it a good one? No, but seriously, right now the offense for both sides, other than a punt, haven't been stopped yet. And I think as we head towards halftime, it's going to be very important for North to keep their offensive flow moving.
And now they place 53 seconds on the clock. So that's what we have to work. That's what McKinney North has to work with.
Well, they can do it.
They're 33 yards away from pay dirt.
At their current field position, all they need is a second. It's as simple as that.
Aaron Fuller will be in the slot on the right side. Now Sean Pratt's talking to the officials again.
I think he's contesting the time on the clock because if you notice, it said 53.00. You know that's going to be inaccurate because when they're going to the 100th mark on the second, it's not going to be 0-0.
Well, Coach Pratt is still talking to one official, and now I think we're ready to go.
Well, you'd think we're not playing in Highland Park or something.
53 seconds before half. 21-17, Highland Park in the lead. McKinney North from the Highland Park 33. Shotgun. Handoff. Barrett, no, he fakes it. He pulls it out. Herbal wants to throw it down in the end zone, and he throws it just a bit short, but it's caught! It's caught! Touchdown, McKinney North!
And there's a personal or a pass interference on the play. David Douglas, he's got to be one of the best receivers in the state. I'm serious about that.
David Douglas, career 82 catches, 1,387 yards, and a huge one right there. It's his 11th touchdown of the year.
Well, it's the second of the game. And while you're at it, it puts Eric Herbal at 148 yards passing. He's completed 11 of 17. He's having a very good day. And this is exactly what this offense needed because when Eric Herbal works, the offense is flowing well. He's making great decisions. He's reading the defense well, both in the run and the pass game. And that may have been off these last 2 weeks, but I'm telling you, Monty, it's looking good tonight as we're almost halfway through this one.
Stephen Meyer on to boot the PAT. McGowan has it down. The kick is up, and it's true. 24-21, McKinney North in the lead. 44 seconds left to go before the half. Back in a moment on 97.5 KLAK. Myers' kick from McKinney North will go back to the 3-yard line, and that Carroll, and brings it up to the 18 and down right there. And McKinney North is stoked.
Well, they have every right to be.
Look across the field at that McKinney North faithful. The ball will be placed in. My goodness, it only took one play last time for Highland Park. Let's make sure, if you're a North fan, that you stop them right here with 36 seconds left before half. The ball is at Highland Park's 20-yard line. Wow. What a barn burner this is.
I'm only going to feel comfortable with 0 on the game clock.
Webb throws the screen pass out. Watch out. This is some trickery. He wants to throw it back, and he throws it to Webb, and he's got some speed. 25-30, 35-40, 45, knocked out of bounds right before the midfield stripe. And what a great play that was by Brandon Dunn. but 26 seconds is still left on the clock. A lot of trickery there. They threw the screen pass out to the right. The receiver threw it back to the quarterback, who took off.
Well, I'm still trying to figure out if that's going to be a run or a pass. Well, both were behind the line of scrimmage and both went backwards, so in theory that should be a run. That's what I'll go with.
1st and 10 for Highland Park with 26 seconds left to go before half. At their own 49, Webb throws it down the field. Wide open at the 44 as a receiver, and Colton Floyd makes a stop at the 38-yard line. And getting up, the receiver is Ross Bolin, and that'll be a first down for Highland Park, and they'll mark it at the 37. They'll take the timeout here. We'll keep it right here. Thank you for joining us in this Class 4A Division I playoff game, and what a playoff game it has been so far. 24-21, McKinney North on top. Wow.
Well, going back to that screen pass, while obviously a 30-yard gain's not good, I like the way that ended for North. They punished Webb for every bit of that yard. Unfortunately, I didn't catch who the tackler was, but he nailed him into the ground as if to say, yeah, you got this one, but you had to earn it. And that's one thing you got to do. You're going to give up yards to Highland Park. There's not a question about that. The important thing is that you play physical. That's the way you're going to, make them make mistakes. If Webb is fearing getting pounded, he may, step out 5 yards earlier than he would have normally on that play. And that's the thing. You just got to play this team physical. And right now, the thing that I like best, they aren't backing down. And I think last year's team might have. I really do.
Well, even Ryan Selby Carney mentioned last year that they kind of quit in the second half. No quit so far from McKinney North. 24-21, they lead here right before the half. Highland Park has the ball, and they're going to throw it out right side, and it is incomplete at the 27-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 10 with 15 seconds left to go before the half. Highland Park has the ball at the McKinney North 38-yard line.
Well, now puts it at 2nd and 10, but only 15 seconds left. Right now, you figure each play will take between 4 and 6 seconds off the clock, depending on what it is and how long it takes to develop. So if you can get another incomplete, you're going to be in good shape.
Keep in mind, Highland Park has some great kickers over there that could tie this game up with a little bit of room. Webb drops back 3 steps, setting up the screen again, and throws it incomplete. It'll be 3rd down and 10.
Screen pass much better defended. The linebackers this time didn't pursue the quarterback like they did on the times that the screen passes worked. They stuck with their blockers, and I believe it was Carroll got caught up with his blockers, and he couldn't make the break that he needed to make the catch.
Chris Williams into the game, waving for support from the McKinney North fans. On 3rd down and 10, Webb wants to throw, flushed out of the pocket. He rolls out right side, being chased down by Olsen. Now throws it. It's intercepted at the 23-yard line. Millard Sims comes down with the pick. His first of the year, the 5'9", 165-pound junior comes up with the pick. And William Webb throws his 6th interception of the year.
It could not have come at a much better opportune time, because not only do they not get a touchdown, you don't even give them a chance at a field goal. Plus, if you wanted to, and be a little bit risky, you may take a chance at a Hail Mary pass here.
Well, that is an option. However,
I doubt they'll do it, but what a great punctuator that would be if you could literally take that momentum away from Highland Park.
Well, they're setting up in their normal offense here. No, I think they're going to down it.
I do too.
And they will. Eric Herbal downs it, and McKinney North is going to the locker room with a 3-point lead. 24-21 over Highland Park. Put on your seatbelts and strap them on tight. It's going to be a great second half. Back in a moment. 97.5 KLAK. Welcome back to Tom Kimbrough Stadium, where McKinney North leads Highland Park 24-21. Yep, you heard it right. 24-21. North leading Highland Park at the half. We have some other scores to pass along. Early on, we had Melissa over Gunner, 7-0. Lake Dallas over Mesquite Poteet, 24-15. Frisco leading West Mesquite, 12-7. Texas High over Nacogdoches 17-9. Brownwood over Ennis 21-0. Wichita Falls Ryder over Saginaw Boswell 15-14. Wichita Falls leading Birdville 14-10. And Lincoln leading Seagoville 19-0. All of those we think are at the half. Brandon, wow.
Well, I don't know about you, Monty, but this is kind of what I expected to see prior to 2 weeks ago. And then, the last 2 weeks there was a lot of question marks over how this team would respond. Were they actually as good as their 8-0 record prior? Things like that. But, through one half, you have to be excited about what you've seen. But, this is Highland Park still. You still have a full half to go. But, again, you at least feel comfortable with where you are.
Well, many don't realize, and I didn't realize till I looked it up, tonight is the 6-year anniversary. 6 years ago tonight was the last game that Ron Poe ever coached for McKinney. It was the Coppell loss at Texas Stadium 35-30, and that was 6 years ago tonight. Here come the Highland Park Scots, and you can hear their fans. There's almost as many players for Highland Park as fans.
Well, a little exaggeration, but there are a lot down there. You wonder how much of that was pulled from the JV ranks, if they pulled it all, if they even have a JV. I'm sure they have a JV team. But it's so huge. And if you go through the roster, and I'm curious if the roster is accurate, they have over 100 players on there listed as junior and seniors.
Here come the McKinney North Bulldogs.
I'm just not sure how accurate they'll be.
Electrifying atmosphere here at Tom Kimbrough Stadium, thanks to Jared Foyt, who's bringing me a ton of drinks, because I think it's going to be one of those second halves where my throat may go and I may need to wet my whistle a little bit. Smoke is on the field from the Bulldog tunnel that they ran through. They ran through the smoke. McKinney North coming back out, leading here 24-21 over Highland Park. They're going to get the ball first as well.
And again, we talk about how important it is for North to get in a rhythm, and part of that rhythm is starting the second half with the ball. It's what they like to do. They love deferring. And if you remember last year, they thought they would try to make a statement early by taking the kickoff, the opening kickoff. And, we know how that worked out. They went 3 and out. And this game, Highland Park took the opening kickoff, went 3 and out. And since then, McKinney North has scored every time but the last possession of the second half. So, in essence, all possessions being equal, if you want to look at the first half, it's been the extra 3 and out or the interception that's really given the Bulldogs that extra field goal. But other than that, they've held serve. It's been touchdown, 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 then touchdown.
These two teams have been trading blows the entire first half, and you would love to see McKinney North. If you're a McKinney North fan, you would love to see them come out with the same intensity and the same fire that they did in the first half, and the same firepower on offense.
Well, I can guarantee you they're not going to come out of the second half with a cockiness thinking that this is all but a done deal. This is still Highland Park, and this is what, when you're a consistent winner like HP is, this is what works against you. These guys remember last year. These guys, they don't have that motivation Highland Park, as North does.
I laugh when I think about Rodney Williams on McKinneySports.net earlier on saying, I wonder what the fedora is saying at halftime. And Coach Randy Allen had some words for his team, and I'm sure they'll pull out the trick bag.
Other than the defense, what do you talk about? Their special teams has been solid. This is North has been. And both defenses are breaking. There's not a lot you can ask the offense to do other than not throw an interception and make a completion on the first drive of the game.
Matt Bonanno will tee this one up, and McKinney North will be moving left to right. Bonanno's older brother was the kicker last year for Highland Park, Will Bonanno. This one's going to sail to the 5-yard line. McGowan takes it up the right hash to the 15, trying to find a seam and can't do it. He'll be tackled at the 20-yard line, and McKinney North will set up shop from their own 20 with 8 seconds gone here in the third quarter.
Well, this team's a cocky team. The guy who made the tackle there is shaking his head as he goes off the field. He didn't do anything. His teammates were there blocking the wedge, and he was the guy who got to McGowan first. and then he goes off shaking his head like he made this great play.
They'll actually give him yardage up to the 21. So North will start from their own 21. Mooney will come out, split out wide right. Douglas far left. Again, McKinney North moving left to right. Herbal in shotgun formation. Olsen the stand-up tight end on the left side. And it's Aaron Fuller who's in the slot. Shotgun, high snap, brings it down, hands off Barrett, running left tackle up to the 20, tries to break away in a shoestring tackle at the 25-yard line. Barrett surges forward for a couple of more to the 27. So a 6-yard gain on first down for McKinney North.
Well, if he could have broken away in the last tackle, there may have been one guy who could have been able to make a play. Because all the defense was there. Sometimes that's the problem, having an over-pursuing defense, but they still made the tackle, so it doesn't matter.
Second down and 4 for McKinney North from their own 27. Moving left to right. We're in the third quarter. McKinney North has the lead, 24-21. Shotgun for Herbal. Barrett stands to his right. He's going to run the option, and he's going to keep it. Herbal keeps it to the 30, cuts it up inside to the 35. First down for McKinney North at the 38-yard line, and Herbal has been great on the ground so far. He's not known for his running ability, but he picks up the first down there after being tackled by Matt Owens.
A nice gain of 10 yards. Puts him at 7 carries for 25 on the game. But they're running that when they run the option, Eric Herbal generally runs it pretty well, and that's the case there.
And you have to, Conrad Kaltenbach, the defensive end, they're all taking Chase Barrett on the pitch, that's leaving a wide open lane for Herbal.
Well, and that's a good thing, because if they went for Herbal, he'd pitch and Chase would get the yards.
First down and 10 for McKinney North. This is going to be Herbal, who drops back, wants to throw down the field, and undershoots his man. He was under pressure, and he was brought down. He actually, one of the few times tonight, Herbal ends up on his back. And that was an errant throw due to the pressure. It'll be second down and 10.
It's the second time I can remember that happening in this game. What the Highland Park Scots did was come on the near side with 2 players, and Chase Barrett's a great blocking back. He picks the blitz up very well, but he can't pick up 2 on most occasions at least, and that allowed the other guy to pressure Herbal, and he threw it short.
Mooney to the near side. Fuller and Douglas split out wide left. Chase Barrett will stand about a yard or a step actually behind Herbal and to the right, and they're going to hand off to him. Nope, Herbal keeps it, throws it out in the flats, and Douglas caught it at the 45-yard line, about 2 yards shy of the first down. It'll be third and short, third and about 2 from their own 45.
That's as close as Highland Park has come to defending that well tonight. But in the end, it was still a great timing pass. The ball is in the air before Douglas makes his break. But the defender started to Douglas while the ball was in the air. So it may be just a matter of time before Highland Park starts to figure it out, which then allows pump and goes.
Third down and 2 in your Class 4A Division I playoff first-round matchup. Shotgun, handoff, Barrett. First down to the 48-yard line. Move the sticks. And McKinney North coming out nice here after Ben Willite makes the stop for Highland Park, the 5'11", 175-pound senior.
Monty, this could be one of the most important drives of the game coming out of halftime, setting the tone for the rest of the second half. And this is the second time they've gone to third down, the second time they've converted on it via the ground.
The only team to really give Highland Park trouble this year was Frisco, who also beat McKinney North. Frisco had Highland Park beaten at Pizza Hut Park in Frisco, but a late surge by Highland Park, and they come up with the win. Here is a handoff to Barrett, left tackle, crosses the 50, down to the 48-yard line inside Highland Park territory. 9:31 left to go in the third quarter. McKinney North on top, 24-21.
Obviously, you can use common denominators. These teams have both played Frisco, but the Highland Park Scots limited Frisco to that one touchdown. But the difference being Frisco is basically a one-horse team, and this team's pretty good at stopping the run. Not great.
Neither one of these teams are really second-half teams. You look at most of the damage done on both of these teams has been in the first half. McKinney, and the reason for that is they really haven't had to play in the second half. Handoff to Barrett, caught from behind and dragged down at the 50-yard line. A loss of 2, maybe 3 yards on the play. Brett Martin, the middle linebacker for Highland Park, makes the stop.
Yeah, and that's the first positive play for the defense of Highland Park in this drive. Everything else has been at least a gain of a yard. And that's going to be important because now it sets up McKinney. They were at 3rd and 5. Now they're at 3rd and 7, and it's a long 7 to boot.
They have been great on third down conversions so far tonight. This one's a 3rd and 7. 8:24 and rolling in the third. McKinney North up 24-21. Herbal, 3rd and 7. Looking left side, throws it for Douglas, and he caught it, trying to escape. He has the first down, 40 and more. 30 down to the 27-yard line. And I tell you what, they just need to think it's third down every time they line up.
Well, and the thing that I'm curious on is how, if you're Highland Park, do you defend that better? You had guys coming in on the blitz. They were in Herbal's face. They ran a wide receiver screen. There was a defender there. He didn't make the tackle. He still should have been dropped behind the line before the first down mark, and they still couldn't do it.
Gain of 21 after Jonathan Perlman makes the stop on David Douglas. Ball's at the Highland Park 29. Moving left to right. 7:55 and rolling in the third. Herbal gets it, drops back 2 steps, looks left, throws for Douglas again, and it is off the defender, and it goes out of bounds. Great coverage over there, and it's Andy Veman again, and he got right in front of Douglas and just tipped that one away.
If I'm not mistaken, Herbal hasn't thrown an incomplete pass prior to that one in this half. That shows you how well they work together, him and his receiving corps.
Well, it'll be second down from the 29-yard line, from the Highland Park 29, 2nd and 10 for McKinney North. Mooney comes to the near side. 7:47 now. Barrett moves over right. Run the option again. This time they pitch it, and it's a bad pitch. Barrett's going to have to fall on it, and that is a huge, huge loss all the way back to the 42-yard line. And it's going to be 3rd and a truckload now.
Well, I'm not sure how much of that was a bad pitch from Herbal as much as Chase was looking downfield. He would have had positive yardage at least. This time, instead of taking the pitch man Chase, they went to Herbal instead, and Herbal pitched it. It still hit Chase in the hand. He should have brought that one in. I just think he was looking downfield.
Well, regardless, the ball will be at the 41-yard line, and that will be 3rd down. What is that, 20? 21? It's a long way. Scoreboard is not updated yet. I'm trying to measure it off in my head here.
I'll help you. 3rd and 22.
22, thank you. 3rd and 22. And remember, McKinney North has been so successful on third down, but this may be asking a little bit much. 7:16 left to go in the third at the Highland Park 41-yard line. 3rd and 22. Herbal in the shotgun. 2 receivers to the left. Mooney to the right. Herbal drops back 2 steps. Looks left side. Throws it down the field. It is caught by Douglas. What a grab. And not enough for the first down. The ball's on the turf. Highland Park says they have it. I'm going to say Douglas was down. The officials say no. Matt Bonanno comes up with the recovery, but Douglas was down.
I'm not sure that that's a fumble. I saw him hit the ground, I thought. Now, the thing is, it has to be a knee or a butt or an elbow. It has to be one of those 3 things. And it's hard for one of those 3 things not to hit the ground. Oh, that's a big one.
That is a huge one. And that is a very controversial one. Shotgun for Highland Park, who will take over at their own 26. Handoff, Alex Carroll, who's bunched up. K.A. has him at the 25-yard line. Ryan Selby-Carney also there, and you have to give Ryan Selby-Carney a lot of credit, who's playing tonight, even though he's injured his shoulder a couple of weeks ago and has battled that injury. Separated shoulder, they popped it back in place, and he's ready just in time for tonight.
Well, and he's one of the key players on this defense, and they're going to need him to play more like that. We haven't seen a 2nd and 10 from HP in a long time.
Well, this is going to be Ryan O'Dwyer on the pitch out to the far side, who gains a lot of room. He's very fast. Colton Floyd makes the stop, but not after a 9-yard gain and possibly 10. I think it's going to be a little bit short of the first down marker. Let's check down with John Lighty. We haven't talked to him yet. John, how's this one?
Guys, this is about a half a yard short. That's going to make it 3rd down and a half a yard, about at 1.
All right. Mr. Lighty, thank you very much. Go ahead, Brandon.
You remember, now looking at 3rd and 1, if you go back to their first drive, they had a 3rd and 1 on the opening series, and then they had committed a penalty that killed that drive.
Shotgun for Webb on 3rd and less than 1 here. And they're going to hand off to O'Dwyer. Running the right side. He's caught behind the line of scrimmage and breaks free. That's a first down for O'Dwyer. And they'll say he passed the first down marker by about 2.5 yards. They'll spot him at the 41, still in Highland Park territory. It'll be a 5-yard gain.
Mark that play down. This is going to be a big one if they happen to score on this drive. They had him behind the line of scrimmage. They just can't bring him down. One of the things I'm starting to wonder about, this defense, they haven't been sloppy tacklers this year, but they sure look like they haven't been doing that a whole lot because they're missing a lot of tackles.
In the turnover ratio, if you want to go back to the fumble, Highland Park's a +6, McKinney North's a +3. Handoff, Alex Carroll coming near side on the sweep, and he's going to be tackled at the 42-yard line by Kenny McGowan, who basically just put his shoulders at Alex Carroll's shins, and he brought him down that way. It'll be second down and about 6.
Yeah, and still Carroll was able to leap over McGowan, and because he was leaping as his feet were cut out under him, instead of making a tackle for a gain of 1 or 2, he gained an extra 2 or 3 yards out of it. And the scoreboard, or rather the chain, looks like they're going to give him 5 on the carry, so they could have been stopped for 2. Instead, he got 5.
Shotgun for Webb. He gets it. Handoff, Carroll again. He's got a little room up the middle, and he's all the way down inside the 40-yard line to the 37. Kenny Alexander brings him down, but not after a huge gain there for Alex Carroll. And now look out. Highland Park's gaining a lot of momentum here. They're down 21. They're down 24-21 to McKinney North, but surging with 4:53 left to go in the third. And again, it was a huge fumble by David Douglas as McKinney North was driving down. Shotgun, handoff O'Dwyer. Now Webb wants to throw it. He's under pressure and sacked all the way back to the 46-yard line by Ruben Gonzalez. His 4th sack of the year, and it comes at a tremendous time. And Jared Foyt tells me there's a flag down.
Likely to be holding because the line was setting up in pass block to try, because it was going to be a pass, and Gonzalez didn't bite on the fake, and he almost got by his man. On that, in this case, it was left guard Kyle Hurst.
That could be the...
Oh, never mind. It's a sideline warning on North.
North has really backed off the sidelines now. They're about 5 yards off that sideline.
Well, in this type of game, you don't want to be the recipient of a sideline penalty.
That would really hurt.
Because, this game is close. You don't want to give them an extra 1 yard.
They're going to spot the ball at the 44-yard line of McKinney North.
Big sack there by Ruben Gonzalez. It's the first negative play the defense has besides the interception that the defense has given Highland Park's offense in quite some time. And they needed that now because they're a little bit more inflated in the momentum.
24-21, McKinney North in the lead over Highland Park. 4:16 left to go in the third quarter. Highland Park will be looking at a second down and 16 here. The officials are still conversing a little bit, and now they go back out.
They weren't really even conversing. They were just standing there. There sure's been a lot of pauses in this game like this.
Shotgun as always for Highland Park on second down and 16. Webb drops back. He's going to run up the middle, and a great play by Kenny Alexander to come up and make the stop, or Webb would have been gone for a lot of yardage. Colton Floyd was also there. It might have been Floyd, actually, who made that great play, and Jared tells me it was.
Well, to give credit to both of them because Floyd's the one who finished it off, but they had a lot of help from the interior defense making Webb not run straight. Because he didn't run straight, that allowed Colton to get there and make the tackle.
Shotgun, Webb for Highland Park on third down and 10. 3:50 left to go in the third quarter.
Biggest play of this drive.
McKinney North on top, 24-21. Third down and 10. Big play here. Webb rolls out right, wants to throw. Throws it out right, and it's caught. Not enough for a first down. Out of bounds goes the wide receiver, Ross Bolin.
He was juggling the ball as he was going out of bounds, so no catch.
Well,
and that's important because that extra 8 yards that he would have had likely puts him in field goal range. But as it is, it still might be dangerous because Highland Park thinks, hey, we're too close to punt.
And the Fedora probably was saying, go for it on fourth down and 1, I bet.
It'll be interesting. Yeah, well, either way you look at it, They could go for it, or they'd be in field goal range. I think they're going for it, though they look to be deep again, like Webb's about to do that quick kick.
Yeah, they're in the same formation, so you have to look for the fake here. Brandon Dunn is back, and they're going to punt this one away. It's a wobbly kick that goes out of bounds at about the 19-yard line, and that's where the official will spot it. So McKinney North, hey, it didn't cost them. The fumble didn't come back to cost them anything, except maybe a touchdown or points at the other end, but at least they didn't give up points coming back.
And that's important that it didn't cost them in terms of the scoreboard. So now, in essence, they have that 3-point lead, and with the way they played in the first half, if you can just trade punches and you have the lead, you're in good shape. That's what happened on the first series for both teams.
After all of the scoring in the first and the second quarter, we have yet to see a point on the board here in the second half. 3:28 left to go in the third quarter. McKinney North on top, 24-21.
And that was just 8 minutes are gone in the third quarter, and this is only North's second possession.
North will start from their own 19, moving left to right. 3:28 on the clock. Herbal gets it, hands off Barrett, left tackle. Big hole, and he's being drugged down by the feet by Wes Van Dyke. And I tell you what, that was a huge hole and a great tackle by Van Dyke. 5'10", 185-pound junior. Barrett had a lot of running room. It'll be an 8-yard gain on first down up to the 27-yard line.
Going to give him a gain of 8, and that's important because, again, it keeps that clock running and keeps the mentality in Highland Park's mind like time's running out.
You want to hog the ball here. McKinney North is doing just that. And I think that's going to be a legal movement against McKinney North, and it is. So what was great position of 2nd and 2 is now going to be 2nd and 7.
Well, the important thing is that he got 8 yards on the first play, so the fact that they lose 5, it's still like he gained 3 yards on first down. And that's, well within the averages, at least, of keeping a drive going and moving.
Well, it'll be...
it's not like it was a 5-yard penalty after he was stopped for a 1-yard loss. It's never good to get a penalty, but at least it's not too bad in this situation.
2nd down and 7 for McKinney North. Moving left to right. 2:30 on the third quarter clock. Herbal wants to throw, looks near side, and he looks for Mooney, and it's juggled and dropped. I thought for a moment he was going to be able to haul it in. He had made the contact with the ball initially and then had to go after it again, but it fell incomplete. It'll be 3rd down and 7.
That plays an example of what I was talking about on the play previous, where it looks like Highland Park's starting to figure out the out route. The defender was there, and that's what caused the ball to be juggled by Mooney, because the defender was going for the ball and caused a little bit of contact well within the realm of the rule.
Here's another 3rd down situation for McKinney North. 3rd and 7 from their own 22. They haven't punted yet. Shotgun. Herbal drops back 3 steps. Wants to throw left. Throws it down the field, and Douglas is over his head and incomplete. He stopped for a moment. It looked like there was some confusion there. Douglas is actually thinking that he was interfered with a little bit.
So is the coaching staff. Sean Pratt doesn't get animated too often, but he thought something happened there. And I got to tell you, this is not good, Monty, the fact that we've had 2 straight possessions by North, and nothing's come of it.
Well, North is going to have to punt for the first time tonight. Brandon Dunn will stand at his own 10-yard line.
And it doesn't come in a good position either. If you're standing on the 10, you're going to give Highland Park good field position, and that's not good.
Back deep for Highland Park is Carroll and Bolin, both of them with great speed. Dunn's punt is a high spiraling punt. It's going to be taken by Bolin, who catches it on a hop, goes up to the 45-yard line in McKinney North territory, and Highland Park has great field position. There's a flag, late flag out of bounds. That could be a late hit, and that would be costly.
Oh, yeah, it would.
And I think that's what's going to happen. So McKinney North, who already were giving up great field position to Highland Park there at their own 45, is now going to be in a little bit worse situation.
Well, we have to wait to see what it is, but I think you're right. It's going to be against McKinney North.
Rodney Nelson checks in.
It's against Highland Park. We got an illegal block, so that's good.
Well,
I didn't see where the illegal block was. However, I did see one of the returners kind of grab the helmet of the returner. Monty, want to go back just a little bit earlier in that play on the punt by Brandon Dunn. When he received the snap, he saw he had no pressure. Did you notice what he did? He kind of paused for a second or two, allowing his cover team to get down there quicker. That's a smart play by Brandon Dunn, and that may be something they talk about in practice, but whatever it is, it works out to where the cover team is at least in better position not to give up a big return.
Well, a lot of these seniors for McKinney North have played for 3 years on varsity. A lot of them were sophomores. Brandon Dunn, one of them. And you can see the maturity and the experience from that. Shotgun for Webb. Handoff. Alex Carroll met in the backfield initially and is now going to be flipped end over end and tackled for about a 2-yard gain. On the tackle was Rodney Nelson, the 5'9", 185-pound weak linebacker who has 45 tackles and 2 sacks coming in. It'll be 2nd down and 7 from the Highland Park 45. Highland Park moving right to left.
Minus that big 19-yard gain on the previous possession. Looks like North's run defense getting a little bit better as the game progresses.
This is going to be another handoff to Carroll on the same play. And busting Brandon Dunn, he broke the tackle of Brandon Dunn and surged forward. Brett Davis finally made the tackle, but Alex Carroll ran right over Brandon Dunn.
Well, there was a lot of force coming from both of those players. Dunn had a lot, knocked Carroll step backwards, but Dunn wasn't able to hang on because of the force that Carroll gave to him. But the important thing is because Dunn hit him so hard and caused him to take a step back, the rest of the defense was able to pursue and convert.
Alex Carroll is 6'1", 195 pounds, and he showed it right there. Here's Highland Park. Handoff O'Dwyer to the right side this time. Mike Smith surges him back. Actually, that's Colton Floyd. And I think Highland Park's going to be denied there of the first down. It was very, very short. If it is short, you can thank Colton Floyd, who stood him up and drug him back. This is going to be very close. They're going to bring out the chains. John Lighty, you're right there. John, talk to us.
Guys, that ball is actually on top of the marker out there on the field, and that's where the first down is going to be, so I believe it's going to be a first down.
All right, they're going to still bring out the chains. Thanks, John. They're going to bring the chains out.
Well, they have to because the ball is on the far hash mark of the sticks. So that's anytime it's over there on a close call, you're going to have to. It's going to be close.
Boy, it looked like to me that Colton Floyd had him stood up.
I agree with you. I think
may have got a left foot spot here.
Well, and I think what the officials are thinking was that Highland Park got a little bit of progress in the pile. They were able to move it forward.
You can tell by the home crowd it's a first down for Highland Park. 48 seconds left to go in the third quarter. McKinney North still leading. No points scored yet in the second half. 24-21 North in the lead.
That's a big gain by Highland Park because at the 50, that's not a good territory to go for. You don't want to take that risk in a close game.
Webb in shotgun formation. Handoff, Carroll running left tackle. And Colt 45 brings him down after about a 4 or 5 yard gain to the 42-yard line. And all Highland Park really is doing right now is just running either the counter trap to the left side or the counter trap to the right side. That's basically it.
Well, that's all the running game, but the thing that works for that is because it gets the ball carrier going forward, and when you're hit by the side, you fall forward for a yard or two is what happened on that play.
Nearing the end of the third quarter, 8 seconds on the clock. They get a play off, throw it, and it's in. Oh, it's tipped and caught. Was it Kenny Alexander who tipped the ball? I believe the ball was tipped, and it was Will Lawson who had to go up and make the catch. And they're going to mark it at the 40-yard line. A timeout has been called. What a crazy play that was.
Well, because he caught it, Lawson had to go back.
And his knee came down.
And in order to keep his balance, his knee had to touch. That's why it's okay to give up a 2-yard pass because now they're at 3rd and 4.
Well, for a moment, I thought he had the first down as he surged forward. But you're right, the knee came down. So that is the end of the third quarter.
Real quick before we go, that's the first completion of the half for Highland Park.
24-21, McKinney North in the lead. We're going to the fourth quarter. Back in a moment on 97.5 KLAK. Well, we come back with a first down run by Alex Carroll of Highland Park, but they throw the flag, and it's going to be holding against Highland Park. So what was a huge run there to get a first down is now going to bring the ball back to the 50-yard line. And that's where we begin the fourth quarter with a flag on Highland Park.
Well, and that was big because He only needed 3 yards, did Carroll, for the first down, and he ended up getting 4 or 5. But because one of the offensive linemen held it, now back into 3rd and long. And while it's not as easy as it was last year to get it, it's still relatively easy for this offense to pick up 13 yards in one play.
Well, this has been a classic so far. 24-21, McKinney North in the lead. Here's Highland Park rolling out right side, wants to throw, and it's tipped, and it's caught by Will Lawson down the sideline, 20, 10, and how unfortunate is that? It was tipped by McKinney North, and Highland Park comes down with it. A great play initially. I didn't see who made the tip.
I think it was McGowan, but I'm not 100% certain on that.
I think it was either Scott or Millard Sims who tipped the ball. A great play, but he didn't tip it far enough as Will Lawson comes down with it.
Well, it was just a textbook play on defense. He surged forward to knock it away. But, it looks like, I'm not sure why there were 2 receivers in the area. I don't know if they were running a screen pass or not. Oh, what a bad break for North. Nice job, Highland Park.
Well, the extra point is good. 28-24, Highland Park takes the lead on the first play in the 4th quarter. 11:41 left to go. Back in a moment on 97.5 KLAK. Well, a freak play caps off a 6-play, 57-yard drive for Highland Park. Took 2 minutes and 31 seconds off the clock on a 50-yard touchdown from William Webb to Will Lawson. It actually went off, we believe, Marquise Millard Sims, who batted it down, but batted it right into Lawson's hands. And that's the second time in 2 years that a North defender has batted the ball into a Highland Park receiver's hands that ended up for a touchdown.
Difference is this game's close.
There's Bonanno's kick. It's going to be taken. Actually, this may go out of bounds. And no, McGowan's going to field it at the 1 on a hop coming up to the left side. And he gets a little bit of a block that goes down at the 15-yard line. And now McKinney North all of a sudden has to go 85 yards to regain the lead here.
Yeah, congratulations. You made a tackle. You made off the field. I hate showboating in sports. That's just a routine tackle.
11:36 left to go in this game. McKinney North is down 24-28 to Highland Park. Highland Park has been in the playoffs 23 out of the last 26 years and 21 of the last 22. 85 yards to go with 11:36 on the clock. Plenty of time, obviously. Douglas near side, Mooney to the right. Herbal looks right side, throws it, and it's almost intercepted, but Mooney has it, and it's caught at the 26-yard line, a first down. Tremendous catch by Mooney to bring that one in.
Well, the thing is, the defender, they're reading Herbal and his receivers a little bit better, which is cause of concern. But on that case, they went too far forward. If Mooney had kept his feet, it would have to have been a safety who would have made a touchdown-saving tackle.
Herbal in shotgun. Barrett behind him and to the right. He's going to get the hand, running up the middle, creating a little room of his own by himself, surging the pile forward. He's going to gain up to the 32-yard line. So a gain of 6 on first down. 10:55 left to go. Again, North trailing here, 28-24, 10:51 left to go.
Boy, the difference in halves have been spectacular.
It's been a back-and-forth game. Well, it was the first half. It was back and forth, back and forth. Highland Park with the only score so far here in the second half. Herbal in the shotgun, second down and 4. Barrett is going to get the hand up the middle, and he's not going anywhere. Maybe a gain of 1. It'll bring up third down and 3.
Well, he didn't read his hole right there. He had a seam on the left side, but for some reason decided to cut it toward his own sideline on the right, where defenders were basically sitting there waiting for him. He did pick up a yard on the play. Now they're looking at a 3rd and long 2.
Well, McKinney North, who had scored on every possession in the second half, now has turned it over by a fumble, and they punted last time. Let's see what they do here. Herbal throws it left side, caught by Douglas, first down at the 43-yard line.
Well, you got to like it if those two are working well together, and that's the 10th catch of the ball game for Douglas. And I think probably at least 6 or 7 have gone for first down.
The ball will be at the 43-yard line in McKinney North territory, moving right to left. 9:44 left to go on the clock. Olson converses with Chase Barrett and Eric Herbal, getting the play. Herbal stands in shotgun from his own 38. The line of scrimmage is a little further. Herbal now rolls out right, throws down the middle, and Olson caught it to the 40, 35, down to the 30, rumbling down to the 28-yard line. Jeff Olson with a huge catch. Matt Owens makes a stop for Highland Park, but now you're looking at 1st and 10 from the Highland Park 27 or 28-yard line.
How often have we said, gain of 27 by Jeff Olson? He outleaped his defender, and he's much taller than anybody Highland Park has on their defense. And then when you get a big guy like that rumbling down, there's only one thing you can do, and that's take out his legs.
1st and 10 from the Highland Park 28. Herbal wants to throw, pumps, throws left side. And a little push off by David Douglas, no flag. Highland Park is going nuts, wanting a flag for Douglas on the push off, but no flag was thrown.
I don't know how you can call that uncatchable. Yeah, that's why the officials didn't throw the flag, as they waved the uncatchable mark, that the ball couldn't be caught. And I'm telling you, if there's not contact there, that's likely. At least one of the players could have gotten it.
It obviously was a push by David Douglas.
There's no question about that.
But they'll rule that it was uncatchable and over the head. Herbal, handoff to Barrett. Oh, no, he didn't hand off, and that was detrimental because Herbal was sacked all the way back to the 34-yard line. Brett Martin makes the stop, the middle linebacker coming up, and Herbal should have handed that ball off.
Well, I think it was one of those fake passes again.
A big loss. A 5-yard loss, caller. 6 yards back to the, now they'll call it 5, to the 33. And now another 3rd down situation for McKinney North. And at some point, McKinney North is going to have to come through here and put points on the board in the second half.
Yeah.
Down 28-24 to Highland Park. 3rd down and 15. Herbal in the gun. Gets it, drops back 3 steps. Looks across the middle. Fires it down. It's caught by Douglas. Close to the first down. They pushed him forward, and I believe he got it after the push.
Boy, it's fun watching those two work. I mean, these guys are exactly on the same page, and I'll take it a step further. They're on the same sentence. Boy, it doesn't
Jonathan
get any better
Perlman
now.
On the stop, but not.
Flag down. Out at the 25.
Well, Douglas initially caught it a bit short of the first down marker, and the tacklers for Highland Park, Perlman, among others, actually pushed Douglas.
Holding on the defense.
They actually pushed Douglas past that first down marker.
Well, because he wouldn't go down. And the only way you could bring him down was coming from behind.
What guts.
Man.
The ball is going to be spotted at the 17.
Whatever the outcome, this is one for the ages.
This is an absolute classic. An absolute classic. 7:55 on the clock. McKinney North down by 4, 28-24. Herbal, handoff. Barrett, who's met at the line of scrimmage and driven back. Conrad Kaltenberg makes the stop. And now McKinney North moving backwards again. Or is that going to be a loss? No, they'll spot it right at the 17 again. So I'll actually say no gain. This will be the 11th play of this drive. It started with 11 minutes and 36 seconds on the clock, and we're at 7:18. You need to get points here if you're McKinney North. After a drive like this, Herbal shotgun from the 17, from the Highland Park 17. One-step drop, going the fade route in the end zone, and then Blake Mooney had to run for his life and couldn't catch up to it. It's incomplete. Just a step off.
Again, it's one of those passes where if he's not going to catch it, then no one else is either. And it's going to take not a spectacular catch, but above average catch, absolutely. And it just went off his fingertips, but the important thing is it wasn't intercepted and you're still alive on this drive, albeit at 3rd and 10.
3rd down again. 7:03. left in this game. McKinney North down 28-24. Herbal, two-step drops, goes to the right side, and it is caught. First down by Blake Mooney at the 5-yard line.
Oh, how often are they going to do this for us? 3rd and long, and they throw another long completion? Woo! My heart's about to fail. I'm serious. You're going to have to take me to the hospital when this is said and done.
You know, I may be I may need to get the phone number that Lynn Burke had of the heart surgeon that he used. I may need to call the same guy, because I tell you what, this is this is one for the ages right here. All right, 1st and goal from the 5. McKinney North down by 4. Needs a touchdown to go ahead. Here's the throw to Douglas in the end zone. It's caught! Touchdown time in Texas! David Douglas brings it in on the fade route.
That's his 3rd touchdown on 12 catches.
Woo! Listen to that McKinney North crowd.
Some numbers for you, Monty. Eric Herbal passing on the game. He's completed 19 passes on 29 attempts for 269 and 3 touchdowns.
The all-important extra point for Stephen Meyer is up, and it is true. 31-28. McKinney North in the lead with 6:53 left to go in this game. Back in a moment on 97.5 KLAK. Welcome back to a crazy Tom Kimbrough Stadium. Well, they needed 85 yards and they got it. 13 plays, and it was capped off by a 5-yard touchdown pass from Eric Herbal to none other than David Douglas. Oh, what a drive it was. 31-28, McKinney North in the lead with 6 minutes and 53 seconds left to go. Here's the kick by Stephen Meyer. Going to be taken by Alex Carroll at the 5-yard line. He goes up the left sideline, looking for a little room, runs into one of his own men, and goes down at the 27-yard line.
Number 34, Alex Carroll on the return.
Oh, my goodness.
Monty, somebody may need to call in for me tomorrow. They may not have a heart. They may just fail after this one. Well, it's a shame that this has to be in the first round of the playoffs. This is a game worthy of a later round.
And it'll be 1st and 10 for the Skies from their own.
Moving left to right is Highland Park. They now are down by only a field goal with a bunch of good kickers. Keep that in mind. 31-28. McKinney North in the lead. 6:47 left to go. 4th quarter time in Texas. Webb rolls out to the right side. Now he's going to flip it out to O'Dwyer. O'Dwyer has the first down and runs out of bounds. That's actually Carroll. He has the first down right at it. I think he has it at the 39-yard line. If it's at the 39, it's officially a 12-yard gain. And it is first down for Highland Park.
They've got to defend the option better than that. They had a guy on both pitch and quarterback, but he started sneaking over to the quarterback, and that's what William Webb is looking for, to give Alex Carroll that extra seam.
6:40 on the clock. William Webb pulls it, throws it, or actually wants to throw it. Rolling right, throws it down the field, looking for Carroll, and it's in and out of his hands, incomplete. Rashad Robinson on the coverage. Great coverage by Rashad,
well,
as he was right behind him.
He had a step on him, but the best thing he did was he blocked the view of Carroll, so that way he couldn't see back to the ball. And the over-the-shoulder catch is one of the hardest to make. And so that's important, blocking the view. That play was really made by the defensive line and the linebackers, because they were able to string it out.
Let's check down with John Lighty real quick. We'll do that in a moment. As John, I think, has something. Here's a flag on the play. This one whistles before we can get underway, and this one's going to be against Highland Park. The right tackle, Blake Davis, is in agony, as he knew he was the man guilty of the false start. John Lighty, talk to us.
Please.
John's down on the sideline. He can barely hear us. John, go ahead. No, I don't think he can hear us. It's so loud down there.
Right.
2nd down and 15 for Highland Park, now at their own 34-yard line. This is is going to be O'Dwyer up the middle, and he's got a lot of room. Look out. Oh, it's Webb. 40, 35, dragged down by Kenny McGowan at the 30-yard line. Webb with tremendous speed broke out with the quarterback. I guess it was a quarterback draw.
Yes. They couldn't have done it any better. What they did, Monty, is they spread the defense out with the receivers, and that way there wasn't a lot left in the middle. Then once the offensive line were able to move the guys just a little bit, there was no linebackers or safeties there, and they couldn't sneak through.
Well, hold them tight. 6:13 left to go in the game. First down at the McKinney North 30 for Highland Park. Rolling right is Webb. He's going to tuck it again, and Ruben Gonzalez makes the initial hit. Colton Floyd drags him down. It'll be a gain of 1 to the 29-yard line. 5:55 on the clock. An absolute classic from Tom Kimbrough Stadium in Murphy, Texas, just east of Plano.
Well, it looks like your first half, prediction, if you will, of whoever has the possession last, whoever scores last is going to win it. May come to fruition.
Second down and 9 from the McKinney North 29. This is going to be Alex Carroll running left side, tries to cut it back in. A great pursuit over there. Brandon Dunn was right there to cut him back inside and actually grabbed his foot in the process. Alex Carroll will go down at the 27-yard line. It'll be 3rd and long.
Nice job by Rashad Robinson. He fought off a blocker who was right there at his knees. Was able to push him down, force Carroll back to the middle where the pursuit was. He's not going to get credit for a tackle, but he made that play. So here you go, 3rd and 8.
3rd and 8 for Highland Park from the McKinney North 27-yard line. Rolling right is Webb, and flags will fly before this one can get underway, and I think it's going to be against Highland Park, and it is.
Looks like it's going to be another illegal procedure motion along the offensive line, and that's what we have here. That's now the 9th penalty for 64 yards, minus that the yardage, minus that little confusing thing, the double penalty on the O'Dwyer 67-yard touchdown in the first half. But right now it looks like Highland Park's the undisciplined one in terms of penalties. That's their 9th compared to McKinney North's 4.
So the ball will be backed up to the 33-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 13 for Highland Park. Webb, shotgun formation. 2 backs to either side, Carroll and O'Dwyer. They look now to the offensive coordinator to get the play. 6-5 on the play clock. 4-3, they get it off. Webb rolling right, under pressure, throws it right side, and it is caught and out of bounds. Ross Boland makes the catch at the 16-yard line. A first down for Highland Park.
Well, they took go ahead, Monty.
Marquise Millord Sims in coverage, but Ross Boland was right there to, oh, man, what a game.
16-yard pass play, but that was almost as if they took a page out of the McKinney North playbook, because that was a simple out pattern where the ball was in the air by the time the receiver made the cut, and that's what McKinney North has done so well. Not as refined as the Bulldogs.
4:26 on the clock. 31-28, North leading. Here's a handoff up the middle by O'Dwyer, and he's going to surge to the 11-yard line. And he and Millord Sims butted heads on the play, and both of them are shaky a little bit. Millord Sims gets up a little bit woozy.
Yeah, that's never fun.
And now a substitute will come in, actually for Jeff Olson. It's Ruben Gonzalez checking in. Jeff Olson checks out. Ball at the 11-yard line. An absolute classic from Tom Kimbrough Stadium. McKinney North leads 31-28. Webb, shotgun formation, moving left to right from the 11-yard line. 2nd down and 3. Up the middle goes Alex Carroll, surging his way. Ruben Gonzalez and Ryan Selby Carney push him back. It's going to be close to a first down, and I think he has it at the 6-yard line. This will be the 10th play of the drive, and they'll probably measure. I don't think they will. This is going to be a first down.
It's easily. I mean, the ball is placed at the 6, and he needed to get to the 7. They are. Wow.
Well, they are going to measure it.
That's interesting.
3:36 on the game clock. North leading 31-28. It's almost as if Highland Park's going to score, let them score and get the ball back.
Well, yeah, there's 3.5 minutes left. You got to geez, you got to by clear yard. What do they need a measurement for?
Well, the Fedora spoke. And the Fedora got a first down at the 6-yard line.
Well, that seems odd to call for a measurement there.
First and goal from the 6.5, actually. It's right in between the 6 and the 7.
And it'll be first down and goal to go.
Well, be key here if you can keep him out of the end zone. It's going to be difficult, but with less field position to work with, it's not going to be easy for Highland Park.
Webb under center is going to hand off up the middle, and that's O'Dwyer. He's hit and surged backwards. And right there is Brett Davis, who made the initial hit. Colt Floyd also there. Not getting in the end zone is the key. Ruben Gonzalez was also in on that tackle. And that'll be a gain of about 2. They'll mark it at just inside the 5-yard line.
That's a good start.
Gut check time here. Under 3 minutes. 2:48. 2:46. We're rolling. Handoff. Carroll running to the left side, trying to find the corner. Cuts it back inside. Cuts it all the way inside, and it's a touchdown for Highland Park.
Man, pursuit was too aggressive on that play, Monty. It was too aggressive. Carroll was going to the outside. There were 3 defenders there, and one basically ran right by him on his way trying to get there. Carroll saw that and just turned it upfield.
It'll be Chris Morris on for the PAT here. 34-31 right now. Highland Park in the lead, about to be 35. And the kick is good. 35-31, Highland Park in the lead. There's 2 minutes and 38 seconds left to go in this game. Don't go anywhere on 97.5 KLAK. 35-31, Highland Park leads McKinney North. 2:38 left to go in this game. Highland Park just scored on an 11-play, 73-yard drive, capped off by a 5-yard touchdown by Alex Carroll. What a classic we are witnessing here tonight.
Well, we go back to the Frisco game where there were a lot of fluke interceptions. In this case, the fluke play was the batted down pass into the hands of a waiting Highland Park receiver racing into the end zone.
Highland Park is going to boot this one away. Matt Bonanno's kicks in the air. It's going to be taken, by Kenny McGowan at the 2-yard line. It comes up the right hash, not running real hard. Finds a seam a little bit, goes down at the 22-yard line. He was kind of picking and choosing his seam there instead of bursting it through. But McKinney North will take over at their own 22-yard line, needing 78 yards to win this football game with 2:32 left to go.
Well, sometimes the fallacy of a kick returner is to just try to race, and then you end up beating your blockers. And McGowan, in that case, had to set up his block, because if he'd have raced, he probably would have been, at best, where they are now on the 22. Now it's up to the offense.
Chase Barrett.
There's no wiggle room.
Chase Barrett waving his hands for the North crowd to get on their feet. They are. 2 receivers near side. Fuller in the slot. Douglas near side. Mooney to the far right. Herbal throws. Caught by Douglas. Makes a move. And it's down. Actually, he goes down at the 32-yard line. A first down for McKinney North. Andy Veeman makes a stop. He's been picked on all night by David Douglas with not much success. As they move the sticks here at the 30, they'll call it the 33-yard line. 11-yard gain on first down.
Well, it's likely Beeman's got the most tackles of anybody on the defense, only because he's been tackling David Douglas all day.
Clock rolling with 2:20, 2:19, 2:18. Here we go. First down, moving right to left. They move a man in motion. That's Fuller. They're going to fake the hand to him. And Herbal, under pressure, is going to be sacked at the 25-yard line. An 8-yard loss. It was Wes Van Dyke and Brett Martin, the linebackers, coming up, making their pressure, and eventually making the sack. A little trickery from McKinney North, sending a man in motion. They've only done that twice tonight. Both plays really haven't worked out.
Well, the important thing is they were going for the strip, and Herbal held on to it.
Second down and long. Herbal wants to throw. Fires it down the right side. Incomplete. It's third down and long. 3rd and 16 to be exact. From their own 25-yard line. A minute 38 on the clock.
No question, this is 4-down territory when you're under 2 minutes. So that, in essence, they're looking at 2 plays to get 16 yards.
Absolute pandemonium at Tom Kimbrough Stadium. 35-31, Highland Park in the lead. $1:38 on the clock. McKinney North, 3rd and 16 from their own 26-yard line. Herbal shotgun formation. He gets it, drops back, under pressure and sacked all the way back to the 17-yard line. They brought the house, including Brett Martin and Wes Van Dyke. And it'll be 4th down and a long, long way to go for McKinney North back at Belmarket at the 18-yard line. Another 7-yard loss. And Highland Park is just bringing the house.
Well, they came on a blitz, and that time it was the middle linebacker that made the play. One of the 2 middle linebackers. But you can't, on a blitz, you can't let people go up the middle. I mean, you can let them go outside because you can make a play if they go outside, but you've got to stop them in the middle.
Remember that McKinney North is a tremendous big play offense. They can stretch the field at any time, and they need to stretch it right here. It's going to be 4th down and
24.
20. Is that 24?
Yeah. Unless you want to go by the scoreboard, in which case it's 4th and 16 at the 78.
Let's go by that.
Yeah, the ball's at the 78-yard line.
Wow. Again, 35-31, Highland Park in the lead. $1:28 left to go in this game. McKinney North is facing a 4th and 24.
Oh, the drive started so good with David Douglas making a catch.
Regardless of the outcome, you got to tip your hat to McKinney North. And let's hope the outcome is in the favor of McKinney North if you're a McKinney North fan. Chase Barrett waving to the crowd. The North fans are going crazy. The Highland Park fans are going crazy. 4th down and 24 conversion here, and the broadcaster could be going crazy.
You know, Highland Park's going to try to ice North. I think that's all. I mean, this is kind of a dumb play, a dumb time to take a timeout because now you give Coach Pratt and the Bulldogs more time to think about this. The only time you should try to ice is if you're a kicker, and even then, that's because you have no. That's the only thing you can do. Make them think about it a little while longer.
Likely. Well, not likely, but it is 4th and 24. It's likely could be the last pass Eric Herbal ever throws for McKinney North. You hate for it to be in this situation, but you'd rather it be here than back home.
Well, and
I know Zane Alcorn would love to be in this situation right now.
Yeah, and you could, talk about Herbal. It's likely, Chase Barrett's or Blake Mooney's or Jeff Olson's last player. Along the line, the left side of Daniel Holt and Kirsten Williams. I mean, this is the type of play that this is. You either convert it and you have a chance, or you don't and the season's over, essentially.
Make it or break it time for McKinney North. 4th and 24 from their own 18-yard line. Fuller and Mooney to the right, Douglas on the near side. Barrett stands right beside Herbal, who's in shotgun formation. He drops back, 3 steps, looks right side, throws the ball down the field. Mooney going for it, and he overshoots him by about a step and a half. It falls incomplete. And Highland Park most likely will advance to the next round to play Texas High, who won tonight over Nacogdoches 31-9.
Yay. More Highland Park in the playoffs.
35-31, Highland Park. And they have 84 delicious seconds for them. Not so much for McKinney North.
On that play, though, the receiver had his man beat.
Yeah, it's one of those that
had a step.
If Herbal
just
a little bit less.
But that's the thing when you put yourself in 3rd and 22. That's why those things aren't high percentage pass plays that you do all the time. They're tough to do.
Webb's going to hand off to Alex Carroll. Flags will fly. Oh, that could be a late hit on Rashad Robinson. But
no, they were still running. But you got to be kidding me. They're running a play?
Delay of game on the offense, which stops the clock.
This is down it.
North has 2 timeouts. Each team actually has 2 timeouts. There's a $1:30 on the clock.
Yeah, I guess you can't down it then. Never mind. I'll take that back. Because if you down it, then North has easily a timeout and then get the ball back. But by doing that, you force them to stop the clock. And now it's a lot tougher to convert, 1st and 15 into a first down when you're trying to run out the clock than it is 1st and 10.
McKinney North, what more can you say about this football team? They came out and they fought and they led in this football game for most of it.
That's what's so frustrating.
Highland Park finds a way to win. And it comes down to that fluke pass that was tipped. Here's a handoff to Carroll. And he's tripped up, and now Rashad Robinson trying to tackle him. But he does at the 11-yard line. Not enough for the first down.
Got him so much closer.
Well, it's going to be second down and short now. You think at some point you might have to use a timeout here just in case. I mean, even if you can hold them to a field goal here, which would make you down by a touchdown.
I don't understand. They're trying to run out the clock. How on earth do you let them gain double digits on the ground?
Well, the ball's going to be spotted at the 11 now. And, of course, North called a timeout. There's 1:16 left. Highland Park in the lead, 35-31. I mean, there's a little bit of hope, but not much for McKinney North.
I mean, you're going to have to stop them. You're going to have to do better than giving up 12 yards on 1st and 15.
Yeah, that's not exactly what they wanted there.
And you can see, I mean, look at the stands.
And give it to Rashad Robinson. I mean, he fought, and he's the young man who actually brought him down. The Highland Park coaches next to us are taking off their headphones now. He puts it back on. I guess he was just scratching his head. 1:16 left to go in this game. Highland Park on top, 35-31. In an absolute classic. One of the best football games I think I've ever seen in my entire life. I know in the past 13 years of doing this. Carroll gets the handoff. He's trapped behind the line of scrimmage, and Rashad Robinson brings him down at the 10, shy of the first down. So that'll bring up a third and about 1. There's 1:09 on the clock. Another timeout has been called. I believe that's McKinney North's last timeout.
It is.
So an absolute miracle is going to have to take place now.
Well, not necessarily a miracle, but definitely a stop on this play. I mean, you can't let them get the first down. It's as simple as that. Once they do, they have the ability to run it out. And I doubt even Highland Park would try to run up the score.
Yeah.
At this point, at this stage. Because once you try to run up the score, generally, sometimes bad things happen.
6 years ago tonight, Ron Poe finished his career with McKinney. At Texas Stadium, it was a 35-30 loss to Coppell. 6 years later, here's McKinney North losing to Highland Park 35-31 on the same date. The ball's going to be in between the 9 and the 10-yard line. It'll be third down and about 1.5 yards here. 1:09 on the clock. Highland Park has it at the McKinney North 9. Shotgun. And McKinney North jumps off sides. And that'll be the ball game.
Yep. What they're trying to do is time it perfectly, and I can't blame him for trying. But
that's going to be a first down for Highland Park, and that's going to be your ball game because they're going to be able to take a knee, and that'll be it. So Highland Park's going to escape here tonight by the seat of their pants. But at least, Highland Park knows who McKinney North is now. They kind of walked away and just kind of went on by them last year.
Yeah, but still, I hate the fact that cockiness wins. That's all this team is. They're I mean, you look at it on special teams, you know, they make a tackle at the 20 and they'll jump off like they, you know, just won the Super Bowl.
Well, inside a minute now. McKinney North, this is going to be hard to swallow because you were right there with the defending state champions, and your season's going to come to an end tonight. An 8-3 record overall for McKinney North on a disappointing loss on a game that they led most of the way, but came up a little bit short. Highland Park will celebrate now as the clock is under 20 minutes. McKinney North, no way to stop it. 35-31, Highland Park wins the first round in Class 4A Division I playoffs. Back in a moment on 97.5 KLAK.